Every person speaking against the names Dania, Jaxn, and Derek Jaxn in mockery, accusations, slanders, and lies, may the mercies of God be withdrawn from you. May your husbands and wives become widows. Let your children become fatherless. Let your seed become vagabonds on the earth. Let the words of your mouth and your words of your hands be returned back to you. Let it go down your throat and choke you slowly until your days become few on the earth. The word of God says, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. You've been warned. And if you want to know where that is at in the Bible, go to Psalm 109. Go to Psalm 35, go to Psalm 140, go to Psalm 141, and keep our names out of your mouth in the name of Jesus. Have a blessed day.
And she told y'all, she told all of you. Listen, first and foremost, listen. Listen, I don't know what's happened. I don't know how we got here. I don't know why Derek Jaxn's wife is on this situation. I'm so confused by how what people are saying. Because as far as I was concerned, I didn't even know Derek Jaxn's wife was being mentioned again. I didn't know I didn't even know there was beef with her. I didn't even know as far as I was concerned, Derek Jaxn wasn't even being spoken about. I was so confused as to what was going on. I was like, wait, hold on a minute. Did I miss something? Has Derek Jaxn been exposed again? Like, is he being told he shouldn't be with women again? Like, has he done something on his channel? Like, what is it that Derek Jaxn has done? Because I don't know why she was up in arms. Like, I was so confused. I was asking myself some serious questions. I was like, so did we do something, or does Derek? Because I don't know. Maybe I'm missing a part of the story. Can somebody fill me in? What has Derek Jaxn done? That's what I'm wondering. Okay, all right. What has Derek Jaxn done? That's what I was wondering. So I'm confused as to why she's asking for us to keep her and her husband's name out of our mouths. Because I'm like, bro, oh, okay. She came out of a coaching program and they started dragging her. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. Who are you gonna coach, baby? You're still in bondage. Okay, who you gonna coach? You're still in bondage. How are you gonna coach? And I'm not talking about Derek Jaxn bondage. I'm talking about religious bondage. When I hear her speak, I hear a lot of religiosity. No cap. When I hear her speak, I hear a lot of religiosity, and then that's why I think at certain points, even this video here, this video here, why, why in the video she's now coming out with what she's saying. Because if you really had if you really knew the way that God operates, you wouldn't be out here trying to offer curses and insults and all this stuff to people. Because hey, brother, what's that got to do with Jesus? Jesus ain't had none of this. Jesus don't want none of this smoke. Jesus don't want none of this smoke, sir. Like, madam, Jesus don't want none of this smoke that you giving. Like, he ain't up there going, brother, release me onto the hounds and the wolves. Let me. He ain't about that life. Like, listen again. Let's just listen again. And if you're new to the channel, like it, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded. I was like, okay, look here.
Every person speaking against the names Dania, Jaxn, and Derek Jaxn in mockery, accusations, slanders, and lies, may the mercies of God be withdrawn from you. May your husbands and...
Now, let's pause it there. May the mercies of God be withdrawn from you, sis. Whoa. I get it, you vex. I get it, you angry. I get it that some people might have said some things, but withdraw the mercies of God from them? Sis, I need you to chill. I need you to relax. Let the mercies of God do what the mercies of God do. The reason why the mercies of God are there is because of moments like this. If you are saying for mercies of God to be withdrawn for this moment, what more will the mercies of God be relying for you? If you are removing the mercies of God now, what would they do for you? You yourself, you're asking them to remove the mercies of God for someone else because they've done something bad. And then what do you think is going to happen when you need that mercy? Right now, you need that mercy. And thank God, God is not like me and you. Because if he was, we'd all be in trouble. Let the mercies of God rest. You're removing the mercy of God from people. What's wrong with you? This is the religiosity spirit I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It's not. It's giving. I'm in bondage. This is from my, thoughts and feelings. I'm getting very much in bondage. I'm getting very much. This is because if you ever heard someone who's in a cult before, yeah, if you ever heard someone in a cult before, you hear some of the rhetoric, and you hear some of the patterns of speech and the tonality and the way that they talk. This is what it sounds like to me. It's sounding very much like we're in a cult. That's the kind of energy. And if you've dealt with cults before, how people talk, then yeah, you will hear some of the same kind of patterns. And so I think that's what it sounds like, in bondage. I might have to check the church. I don't know what church she goes to. We might have to check the church. Maybe it's a cult, bro. The way that she's talking, it sounds a little bit like... Anyway.
Wives become widows. Let your children become fatherless. Let your seed become vagabonds on the earth. Let the words of your mouth and your words of your hands be returned back to you. Let it go down.
Oh, sis is out here moving the madness. What? She literally just said, my girl said, I want all the words that you speak to be sent back to sender, and the words of your hands back to sender, and basically let your children be vagabonds and let them be Sis, I need you to understand where you're going, sis. I need you to chill. You're doing a lot right now. Like, you are... Like, yo, sis, you are pronouncing generational curses at people. I need you to chill, okay? I need you to chill. Like, relax. You are doing a lot right now. I get it. The people have come at you, you know what I mean? But, sis, I need you to chill. We're out here pronouncing curses on people. Baby, I need you to chill. We're doing a little bit too much, okay? We're doing a little bit too much.
Your throat and choke you slowly until your days become few on the earth.
My girl said, let it choke you. Let it choke you. And even to the days of the... Hey, sis. Will you relax? Relax. What's all of this? You're really going in. Hey. Sis, I need you to relax. Okay, because right now
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
That's what I'm feeling right now, out of this situation. I'm gonna need you to chill, B. You're doing a lot right now. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so leave the curses alone. Let's leave the curses alone. It's too much. Okay? You're doing too much. So I said, well, you wanted to speak? I said, hold my Bible because it's on. The helmet of salvation is off, guys. The helmet of salvation is well and truly off in this video. She got a nice, beautiful throw on. Loving the wig, loving the hair. Sis said, I'm coming out with the helmet. Forget the helmet of salvation. You gonna get this smoke. Now we gonna always praise God, but you gonna get this work. Okay, you gonna get this work. Let's turn to Genesis. Okay, your children will be fatherless. I was like, sis, I need you to relax. You're doing a lot right now. Relax. When it's not that deep.
The word of God says, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm.
Let's pause it right there. That's why I said she sounds like she's in a cult, because cults usually use this terminology. Touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. Sis, that's Old Testament first and foremost. Second of all, that was a prescriptive a descriptive part of the Bible when David was involved. Listen, my friend, this is specific for a time period of frame in that Bible. You saying I hear touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm, is exactly those same things that those prosperity preachers be saying. Those people that don't want to be held accountable, those people that don't know word very well, they say all these lines. Man. Okay, all right. Now she said you gonna get this. She said you gonna meet my two fish. You gonna meet the faith and the works. You gonna meet it together. You gonna meet faith and works, because faith without works is dead. So you gonna get this work. And it says if you Show me your work, I'll show you my faith. She said, I'm going to show you the work. I'm going to show you my faith. Okay? Show me your work, I'm going to show you my faith. Okay? All right? Show me the work, I'm going to show you my faith. Show me my work, I'm going to show you my faith. Like, yo, like, my friend, is it they offend a cult like church? That's probably why then. You know what I mean? Because it's given very much cult. Like I can hear the rhetoric behind it and the way that she's talking. You know what I mean? Touch not my anointed, my friend. Please, that's not for us. And besides, we are all anointed, so you can't touch me either. I just want to let you know. Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, you didn't know that? We are all anointed. Did you not know that, sis? The Holy Spirit is in me. The Holy Spirit is in you. The Holy Spirit is in your husband if they're born again. The Holy Spirit is in everybody, meaning we are all anointed. What do you want to do now? We're called kings and priests. What you want to do now? If you can't touch your prophet, my friend, if you can't touch his anointed, you can't touch me. So I need you to stop with these bars and stop putting in the work on the bag and stop saying the Bible and using it as spell-binding words. We're not in that place. Okay, all right, okay. I don't know what's going on. It's a bit of madness right now. Madness right now. Okay.
You've been warned. And if you want to know where that is at in the Bible, go to Psalm 109, go to Psalm 35, go to Psalm 140, go to Psalm 141, and keep our names out of your mouth.
Is it just me, but I needed her, I ain't gonna lie to you, since she already done the spellbinding stuff, I needed her to say the F word when she said, keep my name out your mouth. I needed her to say it just like Will did, because if you're gonna say it, I'm gonna need it all the way, okay? Because it feels empty without that. Keep my name out your mother mouth. I needed that energy, okay? I needed that energy. I need that little, if you're going to do it, I need you to go all the way. I need you to commit to that process. You know what I mean? I needed that little bit extra just to make it hit differently. Do you know what I'm saying? Since you're already cursing us, I need you to go all the way with the cursing and drop the F-bomb in there while you're in there. Because it would have really made me realize that you're on smoke on a different type of way. So, yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was expecting a little bit, you know what I mean? So, but listen, sis, I'm going to say this straight. Look, I get it. I do understand when people are coming at you. It's very hard to deal with when people are talking reckless, rude, and mean things to you. And I do understand, and I want to have some grace for you as well in that respect. As much as I'm bantering right now for the last 12 minutes or so, and you putting in the work on Jesus, I totally get it. But I just want you to understand that cursing other Christians or other people doesn't make us Christ-like. And also as well, by all means, we are all anointed. I want you to understand that you're not anointed more than me. I'm not anointed more than you. You know what I'm saying? God gives us different gifts and gives us different measures of faith, and therefore we operate in different spectrums within the body of Christ. Don't be thinking just because somebody's in a higher position or is glorified more that they're better than anybody else. They're not. We have the same Holy Spirit, okay? The same Holy Spirit that's in you is also in me, okay? All right? The light that lighteth all men is also within us. It's the Holy Spirit. He be working. Okay, so he's made us anointed through the Holy Spirit. Okay, at a point in time, they would have to drip oil over your head to prove that you're anointed, to say that you're now anointed for the task you're doing. You now have been anointed. Once you have the Holy Spirit, you've been anointed. In fact, that anointing is in you. Okay, all right. So I need you, sis, just to chill. Chill. I get it. Chill. Let's sort out some things behind the scenes. Let's leave this stuff alone, okay? Let's leave this stuff alone. It ain't it. Let's leave this stuff alone. It ain't it. I don't want to see that situation for you, babe, as well. You know, God, I don't want to see you go through that. It sounds painful, okay? Now, obviously, that situation was kind of peak, and I want to talk about this moment here. I don't know. I've been seeing this moment keep coming up on my screen.
How do you feel?
Whilst I'm here, I thought I might also just address it, because this, the Derek Jaxn situation is peak. I honestly, as well, I think for the situation with her and Derek Jaxn, what I would say is, these situations, when your partner has done what they've done, I get it. You're hurt. You're broken sometimes by that. But like I said, it sounds like she's broken before then. It sounds like a church was cultish before then, and it's just added to it. But this is not Derek Jaxn's doing. It doesn't seem like. This seems like This was as a result of something else that happened, and she decided to go off the boil. You know what I mean? But she's given very much in a cult, and I'm at my breaking point. That's what it's given. It's peak. All right, cool. I want to play this little clip as well. You guys been sending me this. I'm gonna play this.
About Diddy and Carisha relationship, because that's, to be honest with you, in the space that I am in my life right now, I need that.
Yeah. See, well, I went down that road already with Rich Dollaz. So at one point I was
Rich
like,
Dollaz is
ooh,
not Diddy, sis.
No.
How do you feel about Diddy and Carisha relationship? Because that's, to be honest with you, in the space that I am in my life right now, I need that.
Yeah. See, well, I went down that road already with Rich Dollaz. So at one point I was
Rich
like,
Dollaz
ooh,
is not Diddy, sis.
No.
How do you feel?
Every time I watch this video, it never gets better. You guys sent me this, so I decided, you know what? I'm gonna address this, right? Look, I mean, y'all be killing me out here with these things. I don't know what to say apart from the fact that listen, look, it was rude. It's just that simple. Look, because you hadn't let her finish, because she might have been trying to, I think what she was trying to do was relate to what you were saying by saying, hey, I've been through it with Rich Dollaz. Maybe she was going to say, you know what, maybe she was going to say, look, I don't think it's worth it, blah, 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 blah. Let her end the thought. But no, you out here saying Rich Dollaz isn't Diddy. We know he ain't Diddy. We ain't trying to say, like, we know that ain't Diddy. Like, baby, we understand. But let's let her land a little bit and then say it. You know what I mean? Let's let her land and then say it. It wasn't about the money. And this is where we can go wrong when we're trying to communicate with people. It was never, I don't think the lady was saying about money-wise. She was talking about the same characteristics, okay? Right? So it's not about the fact that he isn't Puff Daddy in money. Nobody's saying he is. There's not many people who are Puff Daddy in money. What we're talking about, I think what she was, well, I hope she was anyway. Let me say I hope she was. We don't even know now because she ended the conversation that way. She cut the conversation off. You know what I mean? For me, I'm looking at it going, okay, so in this situation, let her finish, let her land, and then be like, sis, actually, you know what? That wasn't similar to the situation I was talking about. If it was off point, because I thought she was going on the right point. Hey, I've been with Rich Dollaz, I've been down that lane. Because what you're saying is, I want the same kind of guy as P. Diddy. What P. Diddy has with Carisha is, like somebody said it, is an arrangement. That's not a relationship, B. I mean, it's a type of relationship, but that ain't a healthy, loving relationship. It's an arrangement, which even feels a little bit one-sided at points in time. I'll be honest with you. I was like, okay, so I think let her finish the point. Let her land, and then we know exactly what she's going with. She might have come back with a helicopter and come back round and landed. You know what I'm saying? So, in that moment, you lost an opportunity there because the person might have been able to say something that might have been able to help. Even if she was talking about money, I mean, it's about lifestyle she wants. She said she wants a man like Diddy, right? Did I not hear that correctly? Am I hearing that wrongly? She wants that too, right? She wants the money, but what she's talking about is lifestyle, right? So she wants a man that can provide that particular lifestyle. Now, if Rich Dollaz is not broke, Rich Dollaz is not like some small timer. I mean, he's not the same league as P. Diddy, but he has some money. Let's be honest, he's got some money. You know what I mean? He got some money. And so the comparison is being made about I've lived a similar lifestyle and da. It's almost like giving. It's in this situation almost like giving in a sense of someone says you give me an example about what you've been through, and I said, you know what, I've been through something similar, and then you're like, but you ain't married though. I'm like, whoa, blood, yo, I'm about to tell you that I've been through something similar. It's not the exact same thing. It's something similar. You know what I mean? Let people finish, that they can land so they can get to a full point. But you took it straight away. I'm like, yo. So, I can see some of you guys saying, obviously, she ain't lying. But it's not that. It's about the fact that let the person land so you get the fullness of what they were saying. Because now we don't know. She might have been chatting doo-doo. You know what I mean? And then you could have corrected at the end. So I think, it would have been different. But Otu, it's not about billionaire lifestyle though. It's about if somebody has enough money that they can change your life, or they have enough money where you can live a lavish life, you would understand part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be I don't have to. The person doesn't have to date a billionaire to understand if somebody will take care of all your needs, pay for you, and do all of that. You don't need to marry someone else who's also a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what you're talking about lifestyle wise. So the only difference will be is that there's a financial gap, but you know what I mean? It'd be that way, you know. But let's play it one more time. You can play it one time. Maybe we'll see it differently.
About Diddy and Carisha relationship, because that's, to be honest with you, in the space that I am in my life right now, I need that.
Yeah. See, well, I went down that road already with Rich Dollaz. So at one point I was
Rich
like,
Dollaz is
ooh,
not Diddy, sis.
No.
How do you?
Yeah, it's not. It's just shady, bruv. It's not. It's just shady. You're talking about obviously Rich Dollar. You're talking about obviously, you know, saying that obviously, you know, P Diddy. You know, and Carisha, that's what I need in my life right now. All right, cool. So you need an arrangement, right? If someone is clocking what you're saying is you need an arrangement, because that's what they have. They don't have. Let's be honest. You can't tell me you're looking at the relationship and go, they have a normal relationship. They have an arrangement. It seems like, right? So that's the kind of relationship they have. If that's what you're saying you want, I think the young lady beside you was also trying to say, I had something similar to Rich Dollaz, and probably was going to say that it didn't work out too great. But, you know, instead you use it as a moment to kind of finish her off, you know. It felt a little peak. But yeah, it could have been Roxy as well. There could have been more to the situation. You know, so we can actually hear their thoughts, you know. It would have been nice to hear their thoughts. Would have been nice and cool to hear their thoughts and get more of what they were actually saying. So, but it'd be like that. Okay. I got to play one more clip as well, because I've been meaning to talk about this situation for a long time. It's come up to me, and I want to talk about this moment, okay? Because I think it's nonsense, and I've done a video on this before, so you guys can actually watch it on my channel, but this stuff is nonsense to me, and it really is. I feel like it's trauma informed. There's so many. I've heard women say this before, and it's for me, it's problematic. Now, some people will say that it's language perspective. I'm like, yeah, I need you to find some different language, okay? Find some different language, okay? You know.
All the bad boys that I dated, I thought, you know what, let me just date the good guy. And that didn't work out because I felt like superior to him.
There was no sexual polarity.
It just didn't work out because I felt like I was the boss. I felt
Did you find yourself snapping on him and getting a little bit more disrespectful than you normally would?
Very.
That's typically what happens.
Yeah. And I did things to him that I wouldn't do to KD. And it's unfortunate because he's the good guy. He didn't do anything to me. The problem is that he didn't put me in my place when he should have, whenever that was supposed to happen. At some point in our relationship, he didn't put me in my place as the woman, as his woman, and he didn't show me that he can lead. So I felt like I was leading the entire household when it's really supposed to be him. After all the bad boys that I dated,
Let's pause it there. We are going to break this down. I'm tired of this nonsense. This is like, you look where she needs to be checked. This is where they need to check her now. They need to check her now. Okay, let her know that this is trauma informed, what you're talking about, and you have a skewed way of looking at things. Now, I saw the comment section and a lot of people were like, I think what she really meant was, no. I think what she meant was that she needed a guy that, that had good No, baby. Don't over-interpret what you just heard. The girl just said, I did things to him that I didn't need to do. Now, that should let you know, old girl was moving very mad. Now, let's start it off. Let's break it down bit by bit. And I'm talking about her specifically and a few other like her. Other women who say, I need a strong man, will just say, I need a strong man. People who say, look, I need a man to lead, just say, I need a man to lead. She specifically said that term. And I'm going to break down the term, put me in my place, okay? Because what people don't realize is oftentimes people don't know the definition, but they know the energy. Okay, and I think that's what she was describing. She was describing the energy. Okay, so let me just start off by saying, let me bring you what put me in my place actually means. Yeah. Okay, so because a lot of people say this, and I've heard this, even in UK, I've heard this before. I know, and me and my girl actually had an argument. Not my girl, but one of my ex-girlfriends in the past. We had an argument about it. I was like, I'm not putting you in your place, and if I have to do that, we don't need to be in this situation. Now, can I have better boundaries? Yeah. Put you in your place? No. Okay? No. All right? Just to let you know, no. So let me show you a little something. Oh, crap. I really should not have done that. I should have done this way. Okay, cool. So, put you in your place. I wish I had a Google version, but I didn't put it on that one. But put me in your place, okay? Let's look what it's saying. To put someone in their place. To put someone in his place is to say or to do something that lets another person know he is not as special, powerful, or important as he thinks he is. Okay? All right? So it's about rank. If I put you in your place, I'm letting you know you're not so special and you're not so powerful and you're not so important. Does that sound like a healthy relationship? Does that sound like a relationship? Okay? All right? Does that sound like a relationship to you? Okay? It don't sound like a relationship to me. All right? So for me, in this situation, here we go. Okay? You know, at the end of the day, you know, you're asking to be put in your place. What you don't realize is the actual definition of it is about rank. It's about pulling rank. It's about letting you know that you don't ever in your life step up to me. Now, of course, there are good boundaries, but you're asking what that kind of rank is your daddy, not your boyfriend, not your husband. Okay, a healthy relationship. I don't need to pull rank on you. You know what I mean? I don't need to pull rank on you. Do I need to lead? Yes. Do I need to protect you? Yes. Do I need to provide? Yes. Do I need to be as a priest in a home? Yes. Do I need to pull rank on you? No. And if that's what you're looking for, we've got a problem. Are you asking me to have better boundaries? Yes. Are you asking me to put in your place? That's a different story now. Right? We're asking for something completely different at that point in time when we say put me in place. Okay? Let me give you another definition of that, put me in my place, just so we get an understanding of what it is, because there is some people that will definitely take this to the grave and be like, no, I want to be put in my place, and not realizing that a lot of what they're talking about is childhood trauma. And, you know, you lack a certain dysfunction and you don't realize it's dysfunctional. Okay? All right? Find some new words. Find a new way to talk about this as well. Okay? All right? To humble or to lower the dignity of one, to make one aware that they are not as important, respected, influential, etc. Okay? All right? To humble or lower the dignity of one. You are not in an army rank. As much as I believe that God, man, the wife, I'm not treating you like a lower rank. There's a key part here. I don't treat like a lower rank. And I'm not trying to humble you either. What the heck? Why would I want to do that? But you don't realize what that really is saying. It's a lot more about the way that you see love and the way that you see a healthy relationship. Okay? But let's start with what she actually said, because I think that will give us an indication of where we're supposed to be. Okay? Let's start off where she said. Okay? Let me just bring it onto this page and then we'll talk about it. Because I was like, yep, that's where it's coming from. All right. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, hold on. Oh, no sound. I thought so. Here we go.
All the bad boys that I dated, I thought, you know what? Let me just date the good guy.
Pause. So let's start there. She said, listen, I've dated so many bad guys. Stop right there. I've dated so many bad guys. Have you healed, sis? Because what you're calling good may not be good. You could be going to the opposite end of the spectrum. A lot of times, we spoke about this on another video where we said about when sometimes you're trying to find a balance, you can be on one side of the spectrum, on the one extreme, and you can go to the completely other extreme. What she's calling good, is it good or is it nice? I want to make it very clear. What she's calling a good guy, is he good or is he nice? Because I already told you, good guys, let me tell you something, they let you know that there's a level when it comes to boundaries. I let you know, oh, baby, I need to let you know, hey. This is, we don't do this here. You understand? We don't do that here. No. Okay? All right? So you started off by dating bad guys, but have you healed? Because it seems like you may be still looking for that lens. Okay? You may be still looking for that lens where you're looking for the bad guy traits. Now, don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. I totally understand the allure of a bad guy. He's confident. He's unpredictable. He's willing to do things that others won't do. He can break the rules. He's not, he can, he can definitely, more time, the imagery of protect you, his bad boy persona keeps other people away. I hear it. I definitely hear it. So I can understand where the bad guy, there's a law of it, right? But you have quoted them and called them bad guys. Why have you called them bad guys? Because they won't love you the way you need to be loved. They don't care about you the way you're supposed to be cared about. There's dysfunction. There's toxicity. There's poor communication. There's selfishness included. Your needs are not taken into consideration. Your life could be in danger, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, sexually, in all different areas that can also be there. So if you talk to things and tell me, you out of your own mouth tell me that you have dated bad guys, and then you come out and say, well, I wanted to date I changed it and I wanted to date a good guy. Do you know what a good guy looks like? Because you've been dating all bad guys. Because if you know what a good guy looks like, why would you be dating all the bad guys in the beginning? I mean, one is enough, but if every boyfriend you have is dating the bad guys and you finally decided, I want to date a good guy, do you know what a good guy looks like? Do you know what an actual good guy looks like? Not a nice guy, because there are plenty of those nice guys around. Do you know what a good guy looks like? See, you don't know. See, so for me, you probably won't know what a good guy looks like because you've been dating all the bad guys. Right? But again, I'm not against the fact that you date bad guys. But let's continue.
And that didn't work out because I felt like superior to him.
It was no.
Now, let's pause it there. She said she felt superior to him. Okay? All right? And I'm going to be fair. I always say this. Good guys, bad guys. Good guys, bad guys. The feeling of superiority that she has. Let's talk about it from two fronts, okay? Let's say she genuinely feels superior, right? Why would she feel that particular way? Because she feels like she can run things and she needs to have an area of dysfunction and a threat, and I'll call it a low-level threat of there being potential violence here. And I mean violence in terms of physicality to put you in your place, to humble you, right? There needs to be a threat of he can do some damage, and that's why his words become so potent, okay? And that's why she'd be thinking, you know what? I know I can't mess with him. I know I can't take him on. I know that, you know what, for him, that bad boy, he gonna be bad, right? And then you meet this, I want to call it a nice guy, who may potentially be a bit too soft on you, who may allow you to do certain things, who may, let you get away with certain things, who may not talk up, may not create good boundaries, may not check you on certain things. I can see why potentially you may feel superior. But the reality is also within that, you know yourself that there's an aspect of you which is that you're unwilling to be disciplined in and untamed unless there's a threat coming the opposite way. I call it dysfunction. Okay? So it's problematic to have this point, and you're not learning that there's a growth aspect that needs to come from your relationship where you should be in love with you enough to not want to be, in a particular space, right? A good guy is able to check you and let you know, right, that there are some boundaries that need to be played. You can't talk to me this way. And the reason why I ascertain, so I'll answer your thing, Haitian Empress, why I ascertain their physical threat being this point, right? That the bad guy, the difference between the bad guy and the good guy is the good guy doesn't need to have any threat of keeping a boundary. The bad guy uses either physical presence, right? Or he robs you of emotional presence. The reason why he's a bad guy is because he's robbing something off you. That's what creates the threat. The threat is at any moment I can remove you. At any moment I can I don't need to be here. At any moment, I can get another girl. There's always a threat that's happening, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, sexual, whatever you want to call it. There's always a low-level threat in some particular area of intimacy. That's why he becomes a bad guy, right? Because otherwise, I should have said he's a good guy. But there's always that threat. You're always underneath that position where you're like, at any moment he can. That's why he's called a bad guy. Like, this is not a normal guy you just met and said he's a good guy and you know what, he keeps me in check. No. You said he's a bad guy. The reason why he's bad is because there's always a low level threat of madness that can happen. Whether it's physical, whether it's spiritual, whether it's emotional or mental, he can always detach himself very quickly, or he can get another girl, or there could be literally a threat of violence. And when I say threat, not that he's literally lifting his hands, but you know there's a physical difference between you and him. If it gets that space, you ain't gonna win, you know. And you've seen what he can do to other people, oftentimes, you know what I mean. So I'm again, it ain't cute. It ain't cute. Yeah. Okay. Let me see this.
There was no sexual polarity.
It just didn't work out because I felt like I was the boss. I felt like
Did you find yourself snapping on him and getting a little bit more disrespectful than you normally would?
very.
That's typically.
Yeah. See, now she's gonna have to really look at herself. She has poor forms of communication, and she doesn't realize that, right? A lot of people are in dysfunction, and they've normalized it as it's just me, and you know, I just need a strong man. Oh, I need a strong woman who can handle me. No, some of you are dysfunctional. You're really dysfunctional, and you are living through that dysfunction. And then you're saying, because there are people that are willing to deal with this dysfunction, you're like, well, it's just me. Sis, I need you to fix the frick up. It's not just you. I need you to start to heal. Okay? I need you to start healing the inner wounds. Baby. Right? I need you to heal the inner wounds. Yeah? So let's just keep it real at this moment, right? You are being disrespectful to the partner that you have, or at least to that guy in the past. And so if you're saying, do you know what, I can't actually handle this, he's too nice, I need to back away. You actually took advantage of that person. I need you to deep it what you're saying. Just like any man as well who's out there, I cheated because, you know, you were too soft. Like, you are a beast and you are a wolf, and you need to deal with that. You understand? Yeah? Any man out there, any man out there who's seemingly doing it because, you know, I saw you as weak. That's why you are a wolf and you are a beast, a wildebeest, a wildebeest. Okay? You are a wildebeest. Now, what we're talking about is accountability to help you grow. So this gentleman also at the same time as well, let me tell you this now, if she did things to him, yeah, he's gonna have to take that on and be like, okay, wait, hold on a minute. What was that? And I told you guys, I suffered something like this. And my biggest issue was if I didn't put the boundaries in there to let the person know, and I didn't put the boundaries early enough, that's why certain things will happen. I also have to take some accountability on my end, and someone might not like it. Like when someone gets into a process of abusing you, I personally take accountability for myself as to why I was in that situation for so long, right? And that's me personally. I'm gonna take some accountability on that and be like, hey, I know there's certain things the person was doing. I was trying to be too understanding. You know, that's my empathy running too much and not realizing what I was doing in those moments, that I actually was trying to be a savior. Once I stopped doing that, and I started being okay with asserting boundaries, that thing doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna see, all right, cool, I've mapped you once. All right, cool. All right, I hear you, I see you. That's the first and that's the last. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the first and the last. You get me? So yeah, for me, I know that energy, and that's what I'm saying. As a man, as a woman, there's some aspect of accountability on your end too. Have better boundaries. Learn how to open your mouth and speak, because nobody's going to advocate for you. There are wolves out there who are willing to eat people who look like easy prey as sheep. So you need to guard yourself and learn how to speak up and advocate for yourself. Being meek and being like, I can't speak for myself. Like, I just need people to know the wolves are out there. They're going to chop you. They're going to chop you. Okay? So I need you to open your mouth and speak, because there's wolves out there. This is for both men and for women. Don't let yourself have the victim mentality and you don't know how to speak up and advocate for yourself. And you say, it's just me. You know, I just need somebody that's so intuitive. No, I need you to open your mouth and start speaking. It's not going to work that way. Okay, because the same way I'm talking about her in a dysfunction, there's a lot of us, men and women, who are dysfunctional in the area of, I don't speak up. I need someone that's intuitive. I need someone that's empathic. No, I need you to speak up. Yeah, I need you to open your mouth. Yeah, because there are wildebeests around here. There are wildebeests out here who are looking to trample over you. Okay, all right. So let's start opening our mouths. Let's start vocalizing. And I know some people might not like the way I'm doing it, but I'm just want to let you know, ain't nobody else going to advocate for you. So you're going to need to learn how to do that. Okay? All right? Okay? So that's what I'm saying in that part. Now, let's go back to what we're saying about the young lady. Now, the young lady has a big issue here. Okay? All right? The young lady has an issue here. Her biggest issue here is that in this situation, when she saw somebody who was easy prey, instead of her departing and saying, this relationship ain't for me, okay, this relationship isn't for me, her thought was, let me take advantage. Let me abuse this person. And that speaks more volumes of her than it does of the person you're abusing. That tells me that you yourself have probably been abused too, and this is what you're doing. Instead of you just saying, I don't need to be in this relationship, or you could have said, look, do you know what? Let me be honest with you. Hey, I want to step out in a relationship. So I'm just being real. Like instead of communicating, you just took, right? And you did things which you knew were wrong, but you did it because you felt like you can get away with this person. It's not what you do, right? It's not what you do when you know that you're not going to get away with it. It's what you do when you know you aren't going to get away with it. What would you do then? And I'm talking about relationship aspect, by the way. You know what I mean? Right? The only reason why if I'm in a relationship, the only reason why I'm not going to try and mess around with other girls is not because my girl can't find my girl. Let's say, I'm a bit sneaky. I ain't going to lie to you. If I do it, you ain't going to find out. But I'm saying to you that's irrelevant to me, because whether I got found out or not, my thing is, I know me instinctively within myself, I have a standard. Okay? All right? I have a standard, you know, and if you have a standard, okay, I need you in this point to be able to say, hey, look, do you know what? According to my moral standards, I'm not going to allow myself to misbehave just because I know my partner won't find out. I don't want to take advantage of her trust in me. I don't want to take advantage of the fact that she respects me enough to give me my space and my privacy to take advantage of her. That speaks more about me than it does about you. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? Stay in that integrity. Exactly. That's integrity. That's what it's about. So in that moment, you need integrity. You need to be integral. So in that moment, she's chosen not integrity and she's chosen to take advantage of somebody. And it actually speaks more volumes about her mindset. There's a brokenness there.
What happens?
Yeah. And I did things to him that I wouldn't do to Katie. And it's unfortunate because he's a good guy. He didn't do anything to me. The problem.
So, and I'm saying this as well. Listen to what she said. I did things to Katie that I'd never do to someone else. Let me tell you something. Some of my early relationships, let me be real with you, right? When I look at, and I had a similar situation. Some of the girls that I saw that were dating some of these guys, some of the treatment that I saw some of these guys go through, I said, rah, she'd be treating them good. And then some of the madness that came my way, I said, you wouldn't even do that with him. Why would you do that with me? Here's why. Boundaries. And when you are a good guy, you learn how to assert boundaries without it becoming disrespectful. Right? You start learning how to see it as not being disrespectful. Right? So I've got to let you know that, hey, listen, you're encroaching on my territory right now. I need you to pause. Like, that's not what I do. Right? See, a good guy knows how to you see it, and you know, a lot of people might not like that because you know they why do I have to say that? Why do I have to get? Let me tell you something. Have you ever seen kids in a classroom? Have you ever seen kids in the classroom? I'm talking about secondary school, not primary. For us secondary school. For you guys, it'll be I think is that middle school, high school. If you ever see kids in a classroom and they get a new teacher, children are trying to figure out what kind of teacher they have. If that teacher does not set pace that first day and let people know without screaming or shouting, let people know when I walk into a classroom, I expect this behavior. Right? Kids are automatically trying to take the P. Right? Kids will automatically take the P. Right? So as a teacher, when they walk into that classroom, that very first day you meet us is the most important day. Right? So when that teacher walks in and they walk in and you know, just by the way they're even writing their name on the board, everybody can know this person ain't nowhere to play with. Yeah, my name is Mrs. Bam 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 Bam, and I'm your teacher today. And the way she's speaking or the way he's speaking with such conviction, everyone's like, yeah, you know what? Maybe this ain't the teacher. Someone's gonna try it first. They're gonna try it and they're gonna see what the teacher's gonna do. You out now. I don't want to hear it. No, you out now. Everyone knows. Ooh, this teacher don't play, right? But that teacher that's trembling as they write their name. My name is Mrs. B. I'm your teacher for today, right? Someone starts talking. Can you please stop talking, please? Get the frick out of here. You're going to get run over, right? Now, you might say it's the responsibility of the kids, and I do believe it's the responsibility of the kids to not mistreat you. I agree. It's the responsibility of the kids not to mistreat you, but I'm also saying that if you don't set your boundaries straight from the jump, you know what I'm saying? You don't set it from the jump. These kids are going to run over you. And it's the same in relationships. Please set good boundaries. My name is Kojo. And we don't do that round here. I don't behave that way. Sorry, that's not what I do. Yep. No. And if you do that again, I'm going to have to be honest with you. This is not the kind of relationship I want to be in. Simple as that. We don't do this kind of things here. You know what I mean? Like if it's abusive on that point, right? You let people know your boundaries. Like you're not about to do that to me. Right? I know it hurts to say it, but you know, I know some people be like, you know, I don't deserve it, but I'm saying to you, B, none of us deserve it. But the thing is, the world's got wolves and it's got sharks. I'll be honest with you. You're asking a lot of these people, Haitian. You know, I know people should be intuitive, but intuitive people are already intuitive. That's why they're intuitive. You know what I mean? Intuitive people are already intuitive. That's why they're being intuitive. If they're not being intuitive, they're not going to be intuitive. That's not their makeup. Intuitive people are already intuitive. That's why they be intuitive. So if they're not intuitive, you have to understand not everyone thinks like you. I'm an intuitive person. I'm an empathic person. But I have to understand not everyone thinks the way I do. So I have to speak up. Whereas with you, I can say to you, I can tap in, I can feel, I can maybe see. And I will try to make it, you know, I'll try to anticipate your needs. And I thought that's what everyone would do. But it's not the way that everyone's bred up. Not everybody's made that way. People have to really learn. People have to really learn some of those aspects. You know, some people have to really learn those aspects of a relationship. That, hey, look, you know what? I now know you. I now know what you need. I can anticipate your need. But I've learned that. Whereas other people are feeling that, right? So if I'm with you, I'll be like, oh, you feel like you've been down a little bit. And other people will be like, listen, you need to tell me that you're down because I don't know. Okay, so it's tough. It's also part of the process of and empathic people, intuitive people. They have the toughest time because they oftentimes attract narcissists. You know, because your empathy is being used against you so much. I get it. You got to be very careful. Your empathy has bounds. Okay, your empathy has bounds. You know, So it get like that. So I get it. You know what I mean? So sometimes you gotta be able to let people know there's some boundaries, and let people know how to handle certain things, So it get like that, But I appreciate that thought, Haitian Prince Empress, as well. I do understand. If you meet another intuitive person, you're blessed. But if you don't, you're finished. They will finish you. You will die early death. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? And I'm still learning how to implement boundaries. I told the guys even on the USA trip, I said I need to learn how to implement better boundaries. Not with them per se, but with other things that were happening. I was like, no, I need to learn how to put better boundaries across, and that was me. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're all learning here. Don't think it's personal. We're all growing. I'm trying to grow how to have better boundaries too, and it's tough sometimes, because you deal with people and you think that they should behave the way you do because you're intuitively reading the whole situation, and you just don't realize people out here are mad. They don't have the same thoughts you do, B, and they be moving mad because of it, So I definitely hear you though. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that as well.
The problem is that he didn't put me in my place when he should have, whenever that was supposed to happen. At some point in our relationship, he didn't put me in my place as.
She can't even tell you at what point he was meant to put in her place. So it's what she's talking about is an overriding feeling. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. That put me in my place has this negative aspect to it. But what she's really asking for is safety. But the reality is, what safety looks like is in dysfunction to make it functional. And so your safety actually needs healing so that you have proper safety, because you're feeling safe in dysfunction, which makes it functional for you. And that's why it's put me in my place is such a problematic statement. When you get to a more healed place, you realize I don't want to be put in my place. What I want is to be loved. I want to be cared for, and I want to feel safe. And to feel safe, I don't need to be put in my place. To feel safe, I may need you to lead. I may need you to take decisions. I may need you to, give me some guidance or something. It will come out in different arrays. But when put me in my place is your main dominating energy, you shouldn't even tell you put me in my place where. She's at some point in the relationship, he ain't do it. Right? So she's waiting for that put me in my place. She's waiting for that energy. She's waiting for that man that goes, hey, yo, what you doing, man? Don't be stupid, bruv. Fall back, man. You're waiting for that kind of energy because that's a familiar energy you've dealt with. That makes you feel like this person cares about you. That makes you feel like person wants you. That's what makes that person feel like, oh, I've got a man. I've got a real man, a masculine man. But you don't realize, but if your needs are not being taken care of, if you're not being appreciated, if you're not being loved the right way, are you really winning? Because you calling them bad guys. Okay, you calling them bad guys, but sis, I need you to understand, you know that they ain't good for you. Yes, I believe so, Haitian. And that's the issue as well. That's why, so what she was doing, right, especially with the quote unquote good guy, what she was doing was she was testing his boundaries. See, that intentional testing of boundaries is her trauma informing her to do so. Bang the walls and see if it's solid. Bang the walls, see if it's solid. And if it holds, we're in a good space. We're safe, right? I can relax. So bang it again, bang it, see how hard. Bang how hard you can hit the wall and bang it hard a little bit more. Go a little bit more, go a little bit more. Bang it hard, really hit it hard now. Boom. Oh, he stood still? Okay, he good. Okay. All right, she stood. He's good. He held my hardest bang. Yeah, I think I'm safe. Right? But not knowing by doing that, by banging on the wall, she's actually creating these moments within the relationship which are toxic and dysfunctional. And then that creates the how would he respond to see how safe I am? Right? But with this quote unquote guy, she banged once, he ain't reply. Banged twice, the wall is even starting to shake. Banged it a third time, there's cracks appearing in the wall. Banged it a fourth time, he ain't say nothing, he ain't do nothing. He gonna check her. Oh, I can keep banging. Bam. Whole thing breaks apart. I can just let loose. Okay? So now at that point, she now feels unsafe. So now she's trying to create moments of toxicity to let him prove himself that he can get aggy with her, and that will put her in her place. Right? You don't want to do that. Okay, we don't want to do that. Right? Right? And men do this too for women too. They do something different where they create toxic moments where you have really extreme lows so that they can then become Superman and do something to cover it. So like we'll get into a situation where I hurt your feelings so much where it may even look like you might not even want to be in a relationship no more. And then I go and do something extraordinarily crazy in that moment to show you that I love you. Same kind of energy. It's creating toxicity and dysfunction to provide a solution for it in order to create this drama piece going because you're used to that dysfunction. And so sometimes guys, what they do when they are insecure is they create the push-pull effect. They create a push-pull effect. So they will be in a relationship with you and you'll get into a mad argument. They may say something so crazy. You're looking so hurt and down. And now he's going to do something like he going to buy you 20,000 roses and deliver them to your house, deliver it to your workplace and stick it on your car. And you're going to be like, oh my God, he loves me so much. Thank you, baby. And now he feels good because he's done something again to win you over. He's in a consistent cycle of trying to win you over. It's dysfunctional. Okay? It's dysfunctional. And so when it gets stale and it gets into a plateau, he feels like if it gets to a plateau where it becomes stale, what will happen is you'll get bored and abandon that person. So what they do is instinctively they create these cycles, because if you get into a cycle, what will happen is you won't want to depart, because at the moment it gets quote unquote boring, what they've understood is you're going to abandon me. You know what I mean? So I can't let it get too boring. I have to keep it exciting, right? I need to be reinvigorated so that I'll go and chase you again. Careful with kind of relationships. It's problematic. So it's the same kind of energy here, creating toxic moments and toxic environments so that you can have that toxic interactions. All right. So if you see it happening to you, where you see your partner, where you're constantly having, and by the way, you can be a part of this as well. It's not just your partner creating those moments. You can end up creating those moments too, instinctively. I mean, it's part of the process of relationship. We do things wrong, and it'll be those moments where they want to try and go above and beyond, or they will expect you to go above and beyond because they need you to prove your love. Because what they're really saying is, I never received this. I never had this when I was younger. So I need to make sure that you genuinely care about me, because you will see that in their history, they haven't had anybody really care about them, it feels like, right? Let's go back onto our sister here on the screen though.
As the woman, as his woman, and he didn't show me that he can lead. So
now pause it there. She mentioned something key there. He said he didn't show me he can lead. I think there's two parts to the statement. There's some truth to it and there's some falsity to it. The falsity aspect is what her idea of leadership actually looks like, and that is contributing towards the toxic environment that she's creating alongside this gentleman. But the other side is there is some reality of leadership here. Part of leadership is also creating good, effective boundaries, and that means sometimes walking away. That means sometimes saying that, hey, we're on our last warning. If you keep this up, I'm out. And I mean it. I'm done. And that is also an effective part of boundary keeping, and also as well about good leadership. Because sometimes what happens is people don't believe you'll walk away. Listen, ladies, listen to me very carefully, because specifically ladies, but I'm going to talk to the men as well. In a situation that, let's keep it real. In this situation, if you're going to say you're going to do something, just do it. Like if you're going to leave. Right? Don't give me 3-4 chances, because at the second go, more than likely, second go, maybe I may be, but by the third time, I'm going to be disrespectful. All right. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be disrespectful. So you keep telling me you're going to walk and then you don't walk. I don't have respect for you on the third time because you're going to come back again. I can win you over again. Right? Okay? I can win you over again. You say you're going to leave. Leave. Show me that you mean what you say. Right? But the reality is she's also reading his energy and she knows he ain't going to walk away. He's too much in love with her. He likes her too much. He ain't going to walk away. Right? Now, he might not be a sucker. He might not even be a punk kind of guy. But she's just reading his energy as he might want me too much. Right? Might want to make it work too much. I told you, listen, I've been through these situations, so I know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this. Okay? Right? I've been that gentleman who's not walked away, and I know how it looks, and I know how it sounds, and I know how it appears to other person because they've told me. So I'm letting you know as a first-time experience, when you tell someone you're going to walk away and you don't walk away, you look like a punk. Walk away. Don't say it if you ain't going to walk away then. Just don't say it. You know what I mean? Just don't say it. Give yourself some time to figure it out. Let the emotions calm down and figure out what you're going to do, right? But when you say it, your word is law, you're going to have to do it. And that's what makes disappointment happen, you know what I mean? And that's what people take advantage of. So in this situation, as she's saying, you know, he can't lead me. I felt like, you know what, I was leading. The reality is, there's a little bit of a truth on there, but the reality also too is that she couldn't respect him anyway. She had disrespect in her bones and disrespect in her blood. And she's not going to give that guy a chance because he does not appear to be like how her other guys appeared. Therefore, she could not respect him. You know what I mean? So in that respect, there are some behavioral issues there that she's discussing that she needs to work on, right? No, that's not an example of putting you in your place. Nope. Putting you in your place, as we explained earlier on, is by letting people know what rank they are to you. Me putting my boundaries in place and saying, I don't like what you're doing here. You're hurting me. And I'm letting you know I don't like that game. It's not putting you in your place. Okay? Letting somebody know there's consequences to your actions is not putting me in my place. Putting someone in their place is letting them know you are of a lower rank to me. Hey boy, you know you're lower rank to me. Respect the thing. We're not equals here. Respect the thing. You're lower than me. Know that thing. You're not special. So it's slightly different. There's a different energy that goes behind it as well. You know, and a different vibe that comes to it. So yeah, there's a difference in that aspect. Last name first. Should go and say the last piece.
I felt like I was leading the entire household when it's really supposed to be him. After all.
Whew, Chile. So, hey, listen, you know, if you're a situation like this, you need to spend some time and heal up, get yourself into better shape emotionally and spiritually, mentally. Get yourself in a good space where you can really dig deep into yourself and realize that what am I contributing towards a relationship? A lot of times we talk about other people, but we don't realize we're a contributing factor towards some of the situations we actually are dealing with. What are you contributing towards? That's the key question. What is it that you're contributing towards some of these relationships? Should you even be in this relationship? Because sometimes we don't even need to be there. And our simple presence of being there is causing us to lose out on opportunity costs of being in better spaces mentally. Sometimes you're in a relationship with people and you don't need to be in a relationship with them. You don't need to be talking to them. Leave them alone. Be in your own space. Right? Sometimes we don't need to be in that space. All right, so you might be holding on to a relationship that's not necessarily needed to be held on to. So yeah, I think that's also an important aspect as well. Let me just get this up as well. The wise man. Where's my group? Okay. Boy. Ooh, sorry. Okay. Let's see what other people are saying. Lord of mercy. No, CC said, set your boundaries. I respect them, but if you try that put me in my place stuff, you'll find out. Deuces. Putting people in their place is just letting them know where the boundaries are and what you're not going to accept. It's not really about anyone being lower ranked than you. Tiffany, I think you've missed about half an hour of our explanation of why putting my place is a problem. There is a difference between putting my place and setting your boundaries. Setting your boundaries is about, this is where what I do and do not like. Putting someone in their place is about letting them know and reminding them they are not of the same rank. We've pulled up a description of it. It's totally different. And that's why it goes along with what she was saying, because in the end it led to what her being abusive. That's what put me in my rank energy. When you want put me in my place energy, that's what it normally ends up being. If it's about boundaries, it's about boundaries. But if it's about putting my place, you know, it's a problem. So putting my place is about the rank aspect of it. It's about letting the person know, I'm gonna humble you in this situation. Okay, all right. I'm very much aware. Someone said the colloquial aspect of it. The colloquial aspect, when people were saying it, was not saying it any better. You know, we were saying we're not saying it any better. When we said it in our hood, when we said it in our ends, when we said it in our areas, it weren't no better. When people were saying put me in my place, it weren't no better. You know, it weren't no better. So I mean, for me, you know, I hear, you know, I definitely understand. People will try to explain it off away by saying, you know, she meant boundaries. Baby, she didn't mention nothing about boundaries. All right, nothing about the fact that, you know what, I needed him to tell me tell me that he doesn't like or like this. None of those languages. Her language would put me in my place. And the next thing that happens is that she's abusive. And she says, I would have never done that with KD. That's all you need to know. It's not the same thing about as boundaries. The reality is she didn't respect him. And that says more about you as an individual. That's why I say she's carrying a certain energy. Whenever you start saying, put me in my place, you'll notice those people carry a certain energy. Karen did the exact same thing with Miles. They carry a certain energy when they say, put me in my place. That's what I started noticing. When people start saying, put me in my place, they carry a certain energy. It's different from saying, look, hey, he doesn't have boundaries. He's a nice guy, or he's too nice. Right? You feel what I'm saying? So I'm saying that, listen, use different language, but also as well change the behavior. Do you get what I'm saying? Change the behavior, because her behavior went alongside what put me in my place really is. It's abusive. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why I'm not giving her a pass on it, because her behavior also matched the energy of the phrase. Abusive. Toxicity. That's why she said, put me in my place. Look at all the boyfriends she said she's dated. They were all bad guys. Come on, guys. Let's use. I know that some people might use it in a most innocent way, but if the energy is matching the behavior and the history, let's not defend it. All right, let's not defend it. If the behavior matches the energy, and it ends up being abused, because she said herself, she did things she would never want to do. Let's not defend it. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't put yourself into it. You know what I mean? And if you use the word put, and I will say this again, if women use it as put me in my place, but men are maybe not interpreting it the exact same way, let's not use it then, because men might be interpreting it a different way. No one should be saying put me in my place. Nobody. And that's what I'm saying. Once we mature in certain areas of the way we talk, language is such an important thing, communicational piece, because it dictates where we stand in a particular time and moment. You know what I mean? I know some people disagree, so what? You know, I'm telling you now, you know, you keep saying that put me in my place, you know what I mean? You're gonna have problems. You know, Yeah. Name first. I would appreciate what you said there, but she showed that it's not just about leadership. That's why I said we can have both sides, but she showed it's not about leadership because she didn't walk away. That's what I'm saying about energy. So I'll explain what I mean by energy so you get a clear understanding, right? And behavior. If it was simply about his leadership, she would have said, you know what? I had to leave the relationship because I didn't respect the fact that the way that he handled things, I didn't feel like he had good boundaries, and I felt myself almost trying to take advantage of him. That lets me know you are a good individual. You understand that the relationship you're in wasn't working for you, and that in this situation you find yourself in a space where, because of that, the leadership that you require wasn't there. But you said you took advantage of the person and started doing things to them that you would never do to KD. That is not about leadership at that point. At that point, you have abusive tendencies that when you saw somebody weaker than you, you took advantage of them. That's the energy of put me in my place. I'm trying to let you know it goes the other way. Okay? All right? So that's what we're trying to let you understand in that aspect. You know what I mean? If that person on the other side is weak and you decide to take advantage of them, if I can see that you're weak and I take advantage of you, what does that really say about you? That's not about leadership. That's about you. There's something in you that's not healed. It's broken. You know what I mean? If I can see there's a weakness on your side and I take advantage of you, rather than saying, let me just leave it, I'll walk away. I'll be in another relationship. Okay. You know, and I'll deal with someone else. That tells me that you're healed. That's when you're mature. Okay? By specifically moving in that way, that tells me you're mature and that you are somebody who is healed. But if you see me as a weakness and then take advantage of me rather than saying, I'm going to leave the relationship, okay, then we got a different scenario, right? That's what we're talking about. You know, I've personally never seen, you know, I've never seen a put me in my place that ends well. You know what I mean? I've never seen a put me in my place that ends well. It doesn't end well oftentimes as well. Synonyms for put me in my place are alpha men, leaders, BDE, king energy. I think we can debate those particular terms. You know, I think we can debate those terms. But first and foremost, what people don't tell you about alpha males is they have a problem. The reason why most people don't want to date alpha males is they have a problem. They're self-centered. See, when we talk about alpha males, if you want to quote unquote talk about the pseudo psychology of alpha males, we can talk about it. Alpha males are hella selfish. Okay, they think about themselves. Okay, all right. You are always second best. You're not being served. You're going to serve them. That's the reality of an alpha male. That's not even where you want to be. So when people are saying I'm an alpha male, I'm looking at them like, you don't want to be with an alpha male, really. If you really want to, if you really want this love situation, you ain't want it. Now, can someone have better assertive energy? Does that person have good boundaries? Does that person know how to lead accordingly? Okay, all right. Then you're talking about a different person. Alpha males has become intertwined with good leadership, but alpha males need society to be ordered in order to lead. Alpha males require beta males to look like alphas. That's the whole point of them being alpha. They have people below them. That's what makes them alpha. Now, if somebody has a particular energy, and by the way, I also used to use alpha male interchangeably, and I was wrong, right? But once I started going deeper, I was like, wait, actually, if you look at the profile of an alpha male, nobody wants an alpha male, really, if you really want to be loved, right? If you want to be loved and taken care of, you don't want an alpha male, okay? An alpha male is not the person you want. Choose everybody else but the alpha male, because the alpha male is only caring about the main priority for an alpha male is furthering along its own agenda. You know? So that's what we're talking about. So yeah, alpha male wouldn't be, okay? You want a leader? Great. That's good language. You want? Big D energy, I don't see that being as a negative. You want someone that's got big energy? I don't think we've ever said that someone's got that negative connotation with BDE. Personally, King energy, again, I don't think we've ever really put a negative spin on King energy. You know what I mean? Not saying, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, so if you want to say that, that's what I said. It's a pseudo. If you want to talk about pseudo psychology of alpha male, I don't mind. I understand alpha male, beta, delta, omega, sigma, and I can identify parts of it as well. So I'm not gonna ever say it doesn't exist, but I'm gonna say that you know, there's a way that you lead correctly. But if we're talking about actual profile, if you ever read a profile of an alpha and go deeper, you'll realize they struggle because their main motivation is them. You know what I mean? Their main motivation is themselves. But that's another story for another day. I'd rather say to someone that you want a more assertive man, you want a man that leads. Once we understand that, you know what I mean? You know, so it depends what you need. Some people, yeah, Felicia needs teamwork. Wow, I'm coughing and choking a little bit. I need a person that's teamwork kind of dude. There's guys like that who are more teamwork based, you know. You know, there are guys who are more partnership based and everything. So we'll have more language as we go along, you know. You know. You know. You know, so that aspect, you know what I mean? So not saying you know, not saying that again, that you know, you can't choose an alpha, just kind of saying that, you know what? So that's a real thing right there. We send it back to sender. That's Derek Jackson's wife, Dania, getting at me. You know, after I said what I said, she's now coming at me, sending those curses my way, my G. God, we rebuke it. But yeah, no, that's the alpha, I believe. But again, that's my particular thoughts. So what I've come across anyway with the alpha situation, you can see it differently. So I'm not gonna say you can't. I've seen it differently in different regards. You know, so yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy in that regard. I think I got one more video. I've got one more. What I'll do is I'll chop up this live. I'll chop it up into smaller pieces when I get the time, and so I can talk about it. So we can talk about it as well. I want to see if I can get this clip. Can I get the right clip? That's not the clip I'm looking for. All right, cool. I think I'll leave it there then. But yeah, guys, once more again, I appreciate you. You know, like, you know, I don't know if any alpha males are usury. You already know. You already know, people. Alpha males are usury. You already know. You already know what it is. You already know. I'm trying to think. I don't know why I'm thinking like there was something that was on my mind I needed to do. Let's talk about. I don't know if I got the video. Let me see. And if not, then I'll just end the live and then I'll come back a little bit later on for Married at First Sight when we do it later on in the evening. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. Oh, baby. Okay. All right, cool. Well, guys, yeah, brother, telling you, raw spit. Men should be assertive as springs forth from a congruence within. No need to disrespect or dishonor. And that's, bro, and that's where I'm like, bro, that's for me is where I'm at right now. I'm getting to, bro. I'm not see. The other energies out there, you're almost trying to impress the person and show them I'm definitely a big dog, and it's like I don't need to do that. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to do that. You know, me personally, you know, where I want to lead from now is like, hey, look, I have my plan that I have in life. I want to lead with that, and I'm not disrespectful in telling you, hey, these are my boundaries. I don't have to shout. I don't have to scream. I don't have to manipulate. I don't have to do tattletale. I don't have to do la tete and try and show you that if you don't do it, this I'll show you better. I don't have to do any of that no more because I'm comfortable in my skin. I know who I am. I no longer feel that insecurity anymore. And so therefore, my leadership in the space now is coming from a place of love. It's not coming from the brokenness of trying to attain power within the relationship, which is where I was when I was younger. You know, well, this is where I was young. When I was younger, I'll be like, yo, like, I need to attain the power. I need to let you know I'm here. Okay? I need to let you know that you ain't gonna play with me, motherfucker. Okay? I had to be there because I was always afraid of being taken advantage of. But it's because the reason why I was afraid of being taken advantage of is because I didn't know how to set good boundaries. I didn't even know what boundaries were. I just knew that, you know, people try to take advantage of me and I hate it and then I blow up. When really all I needed to do was open my mouth and speak. Okay? All right? I had to open my mouth and speak and be like, hey, look, can I be real with you? Look, let me be honest with you. This behavior, this is not what I do. Okay? And I had to learn also, I'm going to show you and not just tell you. So if you're disrespectful, I'm not going to get disrespectful back because then I'm not showing you the better way. I'm going to show you. Okay? Right? And in the showing, as I'm heaping hot coals upon your head by showing you love, you're going to learn today. Now, if that person doesn't want to learn, they don't need to be in your atmosphere. It's that simple. But a lot of men and women have dysfunctional ways of doing things. So that's why when dysfunction is presented, they want it, which is what would put me in my place situation is. All right. Okay. That's the part there. Right. So in that respect, you know, in that respect, right. You know, that's why the whole, that's it. You're going to learn a day, you know, you're going to learn a day. You already know. That kind of energy always comes out because you're trying to show the person and let them know this is where the power lies. But I've already said this. First and foremost, don't choose a disrespectful person. You know, don't choose a disrespectful person. And number two, also as well, thank you, Links. That's Links. You just said it there. Because the difficulty here for a lot of us as men, the difficulty for a lot of us as men is we grow up in environments of dysfunctionality, and women too. So when you're growing up, there is a band of men who instantly get respected simply from the outer shell. Nothing else. I'll definitely chop up this part of the live. But there's a band of men when you're younger, right, who got instant respect from women simply because he had a gold tooth, he light skinned, he dark skinned, he got a couple muscles, he's on a track team, he's on a football team, he's on a scholarship, he's he's a cool kid. And because women liked him, instant respect happens. The rest of us are with our backpack, looking like one nerd and geek, having to try and figure out how do we get our respect. Because we ain't figured it out yet. Right? Their no means no, but my no is like a yes because I at least I'm getting some attention for once in my life. You know what I mean? At least somebody's wanting me now. So my no might not be a no, it might be a no, but a yes because I ain't really had my own. You know, I ain't really found out me. You know what I'm saying? And so we're trying to find that we're trying to ascertain that power that we see I wouldn't say men, but young boys at that point in time. And so you got to find your way. Right? This is actually what Red Pill talks about, but they don't talk about the wholeness of it. Okay? The wholeness of it. That we see things when we're young and then we try to emulate when we're older, and this is what we feel, right? So you'll see the girls that you actually want because everybody's doing it. Man, them are looking at a specific type of girl. Girls are looking at a specific type of guy. And because you're not getting that wanted attention from that particular type of group, people start doing things to try and get their attention. So one of the ways that men do this, one of the ways that as boys are growing up when they're unseen by a group of women is that, okay, then I need to start. So, okay, if he says, oh, okay, he told that girl, and sometimes you see a lot of disrespect. Can I be honest with you? You see a lot of disrespect. You see the guy that's popular, that girls are after him, he will happily tell a girl, shut your stinking mouth. And the girl, I mean, she might give a little bit of mouth first. The school I went to was an all-black school, and, you know, we boys fight, girls fight. It was all that kind of stuff. So it was rough. So she might give a bit of mouth, and he might tell her, shut the fuck up, man. Don't ever in your life talk to me like that. And then you see, it shuts the thing down. Then in your head, you're thinking, so is that how I have to behave? Because, see, she told me to shut the fuck up, and I couldn't do nothing about it. Okay? All right, I couldn't do nothing about it. When she told me to shut the frick up, I couldn't even say anything. I tried to, and then she told me, if you try it, see what happens. And you didn't. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't do anything. That girl, she got told to shut up, but she shut up. But with you, when she looked at you, she told you to shut up, and she told you annoying, or you ugly, or you dumb, or you this, and you couldn't really say nothing because that purpose has popularity, right? That's a lot of us kind of grew up, right? It's not everybody's story, by the way. It's not every man's story, not every woman's story either. All right, okay. And ladies, you know this too. You know those popular guys that were hella disrespectful to you girls. You know it, cause he's popular, he's good looking. You know what I mean? You don't even have to even say you like him. He saw that even your eye was opening to him. He said, "What are you looking at? You're clapped anyway in your butters, bruv. Why are you looking at, man? You're ugly, blood. Hey, brother, check her. She's ugly." You know these stuff. This happens in school, especially if you went to an all-black school. You know. So what happens is people are trying to attain some power. You know what I mean? Not everybody. And again, like I said, this is not everybody. Okay? Not everybody had this journey. So if you didn't have this journey, beautiful. Thank God you never had this journey. There's a lot of us who did. Okay? All right? Thank God you never had that journey. We thank God. Okay? Clap for yourselves. We appreciate you. But the rest of us who had this journey know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? All right? A lot of us understood. So then you're learning, seeing those boys do what they do, but you don't have the same conviction. Do you get me? All right? You don't have the same conviction in your way. So as you're growing up, you're not necessarily a disrespectful person. You don't really kind of do those kind of things. You know, that's not your MO. That's not how you move. And you're not convicted when you do it anyway. So it don't even come through the right way because you tell a girl to shut the frick up and you start feeling bad. So it's not in your MO. It's not you. Okay? It's not you. So what happens in those moments is then it gets long in those situations. Let me say it gets tough in those situations, right? So then as you get older to a much older stage where you finally are, maybe let's say people can start dating you now, right? You're now in a place where people might start dating. Women have broadened their horizons at this point, right? This is usually like 16, 17, 18, going into university for us in UK. For those people in that, you might be still in college and stuff. But it's like at that point, people start to broaden their horizons. Once you finish middle school, secondary school for us or whatever, and you get to 16, 17, 18, 19, women start to broaden her horizons. The trouble is, a lot of us have already suffered. I've suffered in our homes, dysfunction, and suffered dysfunction at the back playground. Okay, you know, that's what's happened already at the back playground, right? So in that situation, what you start to realize with a lot of people is now they're trying to catch up. They're trying to catch up. And they're trying to change the narrative of what they saw in the back playground. And what happens is that they see a glimmer of that behavior and they're saying, no, not again. It's not happening. You know? You know? And so we end up in these type of relationships. Listen, Lyndon, I went to the second worst school in the country at a point in time. It's shut down now. But I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. If you went to a certain type of black school, or even white people too, they have their own schools as well, so let me not just say that. But if you went to a certain type of school, and oftentimes I mean socio-economical type of school, I think that's often what happens. The lower you are on that socio-economical pole, and you in the hood, the projects, you're in the ends, you go to those type of schools, I can guarantee you're going to have my experience. You're going to see my experience. But if you didn't go to a bad school and you went to a really good school, or you went to a school that had, you know, good grades and everything like that, you might not have experienced this because it's a bit different how the dynamics work. But you go to a bad enough school, you're going to see this nonsense. Because because oftentimes those people in the same schools have dysfunction in their homes. You know what I mean? Those very same people who have dysfunction in school have dysfunctional homes, and they're learning things from home, and then they're learning it in school. And then when we get to school, we're trying to jostle for power between the two of us. And you get out of school, and when you get out of school, people have a broader horizon. People are like, no, actually, I like a different range when it comes to guys. I like what I like with girls. You know what I mean? People, them start to broaden the horizon. Who's really pretty no more? Look. You look back yourself. Think about the madness that was happening between who was the prettiest person. Okay? Think about who was the prettiest people in your school. Think about the privilege they were afforded because they were pretty. Right? Think about the privilege that these people had at the school time. Man. Bro, Tyrell, bro. You catch the bus. Beef on the bus, bro. Beef on the bus, man. You know what I mean? Beef on the bus. Trust me. You already know, cuz. Okay? So now, you look at the situation now. People are broadening her. Leroy, you know the thing. Hey, listen, oh man. People who've gone through this know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a battlefield every day. If you listen, going to school and you could potentially be catching corn and catching. You can go to school that day and be getting bantered differently that day. You could be catching some top level jokes, and if it's the top, and depending on where you were in the social hierarchy, you know, you might have. You might have had some advocators, depending if you had some friends there. You know, I was a middle ground person. I could flow with the popular people. I could flow with the people that were underneath. But even so, I caught some corn. Okay, right? I caught some corn. I caught some banter. I won't even say banter. I caught some hardcore jokes at my expense. Hardcore. Okay, all right. And you have to think about the environment you're in as well. Like in the school that I was in, and I'm sure if some of you understand this as well. The dynamic of our school, the way my school was, is like, deep it. You had people in your year, but you had their older brothers 2 or 3 years above you. Anything you do to them can automatically get you touched by the older brother or the older sister. So you had to move differently. Sorry, corn. Corn is like you can catch a. People could banter you. People could like laugh at you, make jokes at your expense. You know. Hardcore jokes at your expense. Things that are not pretty. Okay? Hardcore jokes. Yeah? Things that gonna make you want to cry in your bed that night. Them kind of jokes there. That's what corn is. Yeah? Catching some corn. You know, so for different people, again, and I'm talking about the early formative years as well, but so, you know, in those situations, you know, you might catch a little sign. If you come on the wrong day, or you say something to the wrong person, roast. Thank you, roast. Thank you, roast. You know, and you say it to the wrong person, you might get something. It might be a problem. You know what I mean? You talk to the wrong younger brother, it could be a problem. Like you just. It could be a situation at any given moment. So, you know what I mean? You defend one of your boys and it could be the fact that his boy, it was always techie, the kind of school I went to. So it was always techie that anything could happen. But in terms of obviously man and woman dynamics, I think what was happening a lot of times is, like I said, people are trying to attain power when they get older. So then get into relationships, people are triggered by certain behavior. So when they see a girl or see a guy and they triggered by certain behavior, you know what I mean? And then it's because we have not healed and we don't realize, you know, they don't realize some of the things that are happening in a relationship. You don't realize you're kind of going through a complex. You're trying to redo history. You know, you're like, I don't want to have to deal with this, and you think the girl's disrespecting you, but really and truly, it's just that both of you are dysfunctional. Brother Tyrell, you know listen, I don't know if they know what kind of schools we went to, bro. Because that's the thing right there. Or you owe somebody money that day because you decided to make a bet. Money up. You know what I'm saying? We used to pay money up. A bit like you guys dice games. We pay money up. We pay it with pound coins. So we pay it with little coins and money up. Yeah? Or, you know, you make a bet and you ain't got no money, but you make a bet hoping you're going to win. And now you owe someone money. I didn't do that myself. But, you know, I didn't personally do it myself. But there's a lot of stuff going on. You know? Certain children trying to beat up teachers. It went badly. Because some of the teachers were out here doing karate. So they knew what kind of school they were going to. So some of the teachers were practicing karate. You tried that with a teacher? One teacher had one kid up, penned against the wall to the ceiling. Held him up to the sky and said, "Are you nuts? Are you dumb? Are you okay?" That boy never spoke against him again. So to say, but he got fired after that. I really liked him. Not gonna lie to you. I really, really liked him. He was a good teacher. White guy too. Hench. Always remember him being hench. Really liked him as well. Okay, but you know, it was one of those things. You know, mental parkour. Hey, yo, them times there. Nah, man. We teachers selling weed at night, at mines. I hear you. I hear you, sis. Mental parkour. War zone. Yeah, normalcy for us. And that's what I'm saying. So like it depends on what kind of character you are, you gonna learn how to exist in that format. You know what I mean? I got taken out of it towards the end, so I kind of thawed out, but I was never that aggressive. That was my thing. I never was that aggressive. I was always a funny guy. That's how I got out of situations. I was a funny guy. You know, if anyone tried it, I'll be like, bro, come on, man. You won't. And I was a fat kid, so I'm like, you don't mess with these titties. Come on. You gonna fight with me with these titties? Come on. You ain't gonna fight me with these titties. Come on, bro. And then I'll get out of the situation. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I was like, you don't wanna hurt a fat kid like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a professor. You don't wanna hurt. And I would make them laugh. And by the time they laugh, it's like it's over. It's done. That's how I got a lot of the beef. You know. That's how I got a lot of beef at other times. Yes, and this is another thing. So this is why I'm saying to you that, it's tough, because those people that were unseen and unheard, if they didn't have their own community, it would be a problem. Because usually, in my school anyway, some of the nerds, they had their own community. It was fine. But then you find this up like 1 or 2, 3, 4 who were isolated from any community, and they were just weird. You have to have different categories. No offense to these people, but they were weird. And everybody avoided them. Those people are dangerous because they've not been seen and they've not been heard. But the people who are nerds have their own kind of clique, their own kind of crew. They're nerds. But in that respect, they had their own community to kind of validate them and make them feel seen and heard. So they're not so bad, but it depends. If they have aspirations to climb out of that space, then there'll be a different kind of character in it. Them times there, you had to be the fastest or the strongest or the fighter, the school clown. You had to be the class clown. You can be the smartest guy in the room that you get respect. There were different forms of respect you get. The baller. If you were a footballer and you could ball, you'll get your respect. You might not necessarily get the girls, but you get your respect. If you're I remember people saying they were fighters. I remember people saying they were fighting, and looking at them like, they are not fighters, but they are boasting about fighting. So they now, I remember they used to rank people like, who's top 3 fighters in our class? I'm like, I look at some of the fight, I'm like, this guy cannot fight. He cannot fight. But he's boasting about it, so then he becomes a fighter. And he becomes this, reputation precedes him. And so women like him because he's got that tough exterior. But you look at him like, he's not even that dangerous. He's not that dangerous. Yeah, he's not that dangerous. Look, he's not a fighter, bruv. And there were other people that you just knew love fighting. I love to fight. You know what I mean? The people that they love to fight. Every time they want to fight. Dysfunctional at home, dysfunctional thing. All right? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So you had to find your superpower that will get you out of situations or that won't get you in situations. I'm talking about, look, I remember the time when I was younger, some of these girls would clown me, bro. And I'll have to laugh about it and find my way out. Because I can't fight for doo-doo and I ain't fighting for nobody. So I had to, find my way. I'm not the bad boy on the ends. That's not my energy. I'm going to make you laugh. I'm gonna make you laugh. Okay? All right? I'm gonna make you laugh. Okay? Yeah, so that was my way of getting out there. I remember one girl was like, your elbow is so dry. And my elbow was dry that day. I'm not gonna lie to you. She's like, your elbow is so dry. And the whole bus is laughing. I'm like, you know what? Brother, if you rub your hand here, you're gonna catch a fade. Be careful. And then the laugh suspends. It's done. Because I'm not about to get clowned the whole day, blood. You get me? I have to find my way of disarming you. You know what I mean? So I had to find my way of disarming people. You know what I mean? Right? So, and the thing was, interesting, that's why I said that it's interesting when you have a social economical pot because when you like for instance in our school, the issue wasn't people in my year. The issue was people below us. These little rugrats have no respect. These little rugrats is all. I think all of them were in gangs at this point. The year below us and the year below them, all of them had gang affiliation. So at this point, there's no respect. None. And I remember most of the beefs that I was having, not even beefs, I'll say most of the stupidity that was happening was kids below me. And I'm like, what's wrong with these youths? I'm not even trying to be involved in your situation. What's going on? You know? But you put that boy in that place. See if he's got an older brother. See if he's got 2 or 3 older brothers. See if you don't get. You be waiting at the gates. They'll be waiting for you at the gates. So you have to find your way. Like unless you're about that life, I wasn't about that life. You know what I mean? I wasn't about that life. So for me, the fighting stuff situation, I'm gonna make you laugh. Okay? I'm gonna make you laugh. I'm gonna make you smile. And that's how I escaped a lot of the madness in school. With some of the older lots, I'll just be the funny guy. So, that's how it'd be, so, but that was the early years. That was like from like 11 to 15 because I moved out of London at 15, but and that was the second worst school, John Paul II. Like this school was so bad. I'm telling you, our grades were so bad. Every socio-economical low person on the ladder was coming to the school. It was so bad. So bad. And it was a boy and girl school. I mean, my first day popping up in the school. One day I'll do a live on this. Let me stop, but I'll do some. I need to go back to my story times. If you've watched me, if you followed me early doors of YouTube, I'll do some story times before I leave to Ghana. Blood. Let me tell you, my first day ever stepping into that school, there was one guy. I don't want to mention his name. Listen, sorry, like my mic went, but so let me start the story. So basically, my first day entering the school, I was 2 weeks late because I had chicken pox. It's my first day entering the school. First day ever entering the school. I see this 6'1" guy, and then I see this girl 5'10", and I remember they were standing outside the front of the school. As I'm entering into the school, I was a little bit late that day by 5 minutes. I'm walking in, my backpack on. I'm a young individual. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm looking at my map. I'm not. Where do I even go to? I don't know where my class is. Okay. All right. I don't want to mention his name. Yeah, I don't want to mention his name. Absolutely. I'm not mentioning his name. He could pop up at any time. Now I've got some platform. He might know me and see me. He might take me out of the game. And literally... I remember the picture. Look, I've got, if you can see it, I've got a little, you can't even see it now. I've got a mark there. That's from the chicken box. So you can see it there. There's a little bit of a mark. You can't really see it too tough, but just here, that's from the chicken box. But, so like literally, I walked in and this guy and the girl are arguing. Okay. The guy and the girl are arguing. Okay. All right. These two as they're arguing, yeah, he's like, shut the up. I said, ooh, because I've come from an all. You have to understand, I've come from an all-white school. Okay, all right. I came from a school in Chelsea and Kensington. If you know London, Chelsea and Kensington is a very rich place, very well off, very posh. Okay, all right, very rich, very posh. I came from an all-white school, so now I'm seeing this. I mean, of course, I grew up in the ends anyway, but when I avoided some of the master. But when I get to the school and I see these two people arguing like Godzilla and whatever animal fights Godzilla and King Kong, I'm like, okay. And he's like, shut the F up. And she's like, who are you? I remember the finger that she did. She said, who the f are you talking to? Let me tell you what happened next. The brother cocked back the fist and gave her the BAM. I'm talking... not just a little, oh, I'm talking, he said, boom. And the cock back of the fist, I remember I said, yay. And at that point, he had a ring on his wrist, on his finger, right? The part that he clocked her with the ring. Okay? We need to understand that. Yeah? He clocked her with the ring. And so her eye, I think she's blind. I'm not sure. I didn't follow up, so I don't know. I think she's blind. Okay? I think she's blind. Okay? I think she's blind. Yeah? Now, that girl went from being, don't ever tell me what to do, to going, my eye, and blood splitting places. Okay? But remember, these guys are 14, 15. Do you know what I'm saying? 14, 15. I'm walking in there as an 11-year-old. I'm going, oh my days. I'm here. I remember screaming I went back into my class. I said, hang on, what the frick am I? What the frick am I? I said, what the frick am I? What the frick am I? Yeah? So, listen, ambulance came that day, picked her up. I don't remember. I think she came up with an eye thingy. I don't think her eye properly all the way healed. I don't think her eye properly healed. But that was the beginning of the school journey, and I knew that wherever I was in a war zone. Okay? But I came in as a funny African kid. So I kind of stayed middle ground. I wasn't, I wasn't too tough in there. I stayed in that school for 7, 8, 9, 10, 4 years. 3 and a bit years, because on the 4th year I moved out of that space and moved to another location about 2 hours away from there, which was more of a mix of blacks and whites, and then was a good place to be. So when you see that that first day, and that's not the first time I've seen. Look, the amount of times I've seen a man bang a woman in the face. You understand why sometimes I say to you ladies, please, keep quiet, please, exit, because these men don't give a hoots. A lot of these men did not care. I'm seeing full-on fights. Okay? I'm seeing full-on fights. I'm seeing man them cocking the fist back and giving hurricane punches to girls. And usually what happens, it's not like a random thing. It's not like, he blindsided her. They're in each other's faces, screaming, da-da-da-da. And you normally hear, listen, don't, and you see these, because you see, a lot of times the bravado, the ego of us as young boys, these young boys are trying to show people they're not the one to mess with, So this girl was in his face screaming, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, listen, move. Yeah, and this is how when you know someone's about to fight, there's a stance they take. It's this, move. But I'm giving you a few seconds before I bang you in your face. Move. When a brother does this, he's going to fight. When he does all the hand gesticulations, he's not about to fight. Okay? That's what I started to learn. When a brother goes, listen, I need, brother, move now. So when I see the ladies getting into them spaces where a man is going, move now. When he holds himself like this, straight face, move. Unless you're ready to fight, move. Right? And what I saw in school was several times women were and I'm telling you, women were trying to fight these boys. They did. I'm hard pressed to find one that actually won. Okay, but honestly, there was a lot of boys fighting girls and girls fighting boys. Okay? Now, of course, the mandem knew what girls they could try, because certain girls had bigger brothers. And you try that, you're going to be dead. Okay? You'll be set up and sent to somewhere you don't want to be. Okay? So certain girls didn't get that because they had older brothers and they knew nobody wants to mess with that older brother. He's in gang. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's on road shotting. Yeah, you don't want to get set up and touched. So certain girls got away with it. But yeah. You play around that, you get finished. So yeah, there was a lot that was going on, and one day we'll have some more lives. We'll talk about it. I'll break down what was happening in school. But yeah, man, it was it was. But when a brother does this, know that he's serious. When he does, all right, cool, bet. Trey, you already know, Kaz. Listen, it is, to us who've grown up, it's normal. But when you're older, you realize how dysfunctional it is. But it was normal at the time. It was normal. Like, you knew what to do not to get into a fight. You knew what to do when you want to get into a fight. You knew what people were always in fights. You knew what person didn't want to fight. You knew what teachers you could try. You knew what teachers you couldn't try. You know? So in that sense, there's a lot of things. I remember one significant fight. I mean, we saw some beautiful fights in our day, I'll be honest with you. I remember this fight, and I won't mention their names, but there were two Afghan twins and one black youth. He was kind of big. And I always remember this fight because it was a fight in the snow. The snow was coming down hard that day. The snow had settled. It was chilly. Oh, my phone's gone off. Oh, don't worry about that. It will come back on. I think my phone died. Did it die? Yeah, it did. Sorry. Oh, no, my battery go off. Oh, because I didn't charge it. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'll put my phone. But anyway, listen. So obviously there was. I remember this big guy, and there was this big guy, and literally big black guy, whatever. They're all in the same year. And I remember, but he been saying racial slurs. I'm gonna be honest with you. He was saying racial stuff. Okay, all right. He was saying racial stuff. Okay, so the snow is coming down. Just imagine this: the snow is coming down. It's falling. It's heavy that day. A couple people had a snow fight. Right. This big black youth picks up a snowball, does it and launches it at these two Afghan twins, right, who are in the same year as him, right? And I'm like, what's this guy doing? He keeps launching it. And they're telling him, listen, stop, man. We're not playing that game. We don't want to play throwing snowballs today. We're not playing with you. He doesn't like them already, so he's like, I don't give a heck. I'm gonna throw this if you want it or not. You understand, right? Now this was in the 15-minute break. So it's not lunchtime. This is the break that you get in between your classes. That's a little break in between. Yeah. So it's not lunch break. It's one before that. Yeah. So now obviously man's throwing the snowballs at them, and they're like, listen, if you keep on going, we're gonna have to do something. You understand? But obviously this black guy, he thinks he's levels. Okay? He thinks he's something. All right? He thinks he's a above reproach today. Yeah? Of course, obviously he knows a couple of the guys in his year as well, probably gonna back it as well, and that's it. So now the snow is falling hard. People are enjoying the snowballs. You're hearing the laughter of the kids in the background. You know what I'm saying? The bell's about to go. You can look at the watch and you're like, the bell's about to go because we only got 15 minutes. Okay. All right. And then as what happens is then he throws a snowball, and then one of the twin turns around. As he turns around, he's like, all right, cool. Let's do this. Because you clearly want to do this, bruv. Right? So he gets into the face of the black youth, and it's like this. Bam! The first punch that he lands on the big guy, I said, the punch was so clean and connected, so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It was boom. And you see him go down to his knee, right? You see him go down to his knee. And then the other twin comes in, and as he's on his knee, boom. Well, since you want to throw snowballs, this is what they're on. But now, obviously, because two of them entered into the fight, couple other black youths get involved, okay, and now it's like a 5-on-2. These two goons held their own. I can't lie to you, it was about 4 or 5 of these black guys, and I can't lie to you, these two Afghan kids held it down. I'm saying, blood, I'm just seeing, and because the snow is slippery, when you lose your balance, you're done for. Because if they catch you, and you know when you grip someone and they slip a little bit, bam. So as they slip. And it's like, I don't know what was going on with the black boys, but that day, they slipped and then just bam, the punch hit, connected clean, man are down, most brokens, nose bleeding, at that point, bro, I'm just see it was just go blood. These two youngins caught these guys slipping differently. You understand? Yeah. I just remember the white snow turned a little bit red when it's going. You know what I mean? And then obviously the bell rang. And when the bell rings, the teachers came out, so everyone disperses. But I just remember the big black guy there kind of having to wipe his face off, and obviously you're not going to say nothing, innit? You're not going to say that he got beat up. And I remember that some of the guys that were walking with him laughing at him because he lost the fight. But it's like, you guys charged him up to go and have this fight because you kept on egging him on anyway. And, you know, so you see some things, man. You see some things. But, you know, I mean, maybe it's trauma, but I'm like, it was such a fun time to see some of these fights that will happen. When people start having a fight, you run to the back playground, you're ready on it. You know, so, you know, you were young and naive, and you'd run in there and try and, you know, you would enjoy it, like fight, you know. You know, so it was a lot, man. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not even, I mean, someone might say trauma, but for me, it was like, you know what? It was wild. Now, the wild thing, let me be real with you, or level with you guys. The wild thing was, at this point, you're 11, 12, the biggest issue we had, and if it was this day and age, if it were in 2022, this was happening, a lot of us would have been arrested. I'll be honest with you. A lot of us would be arrested. Because the stuff that was happening in the corridors between classes, woo-wee. If it was 2022, some of the stuff that the boys were doing in the corridors, I think we'd all be arrested. Yeah. And because we were moving mad in the corridors. Okay? Because our corridors got really packed. Really, really packed between lessons. Having too many students in a school as happens. And before you know it, people's hands are slapping asses, slapping breasts, doing that, all the stuff. Would have been arrested. Yeah, would have been arrested. It's that simple. Okay, would have been written up, arrested, put into some facility, because some of the grabbing that was happening in these corridors, I mean, I had limitations. Slap an ass and leave it alone. Okay, that's what we had. But when you were, some of these guys, if I tell you one story that happened, it almost got me killed in that school, boy, because I had to tell the truth of what happened. It was a bit mad still. Bruv. Corridors. The corridors were mad. Because that point in time, you would just slap a girl's ass. Like, oh, slap her ass, or, you know what I mean? It was madness. And I'm not even just saying the guys. Listen, some of the girls too were bad mama jammers too, because, you know, they were grabbing places, you know. Some people were grabbing some places. Not as many as the guys, but there were some girls who too were doing some madness too, who were grabbing some places that, you know, didn't need to be grabbed. You know, listen. So those 3 minutes between your classes get to you at 5 minutes before you have to get to your next class. Very, very deadly. Very, very deadly. Very, very deadly. My God. Yeah, they used to do a lot of those kind of stupidity stuff. I remember also too, fireworks. Fireworks was another one. Fireworks and stink bombs in the corridors. Listen, I'll save this for another day, man. You know, it was a lot, man. It was a lot. Fireworks, stink bombs. Fireworks are the worst one, because once that thing goes, phew, everybody's running, and at that point, there's nowhere to run. You know what I mean? There's nowhere to run. So when people are letting off fireworks in that space, in a closed corridor, it's another problem, bro. Yeah, proper problems in them corridors, blood. So it's a lot. It was a lot. I can't lie to you, it was a lot in them times. But I just felt stink bombs were just stupid to me. It's like the whole place will be stinking for another 2 hours, bro. Please, I beg. Why are you letting off a stink bomb? It's 2 more hours before we're gonna have to recover. It didn't make sense to me. Fireworks made more sense, even though it's more dangerous. But at least fireworks. But stink bomb. Next 2 hours, that corridor stinks, bro. Can't even walk past that corridor properly. You know what I mean? But they used to let off fireworks. Now, I was never part of this crew. It didn't make sense to me to let off fireworks. But once you start hearing phew, phew, bruv, at that point, everybody's running. Okay? All right. At that point, everybody's running. You know, at that point, when you start seeing that, phew, and how good was your school if you didn't have a gifted and black program? You know, your school, if your school was bad, you needed a gifted and black program. If you didn't have it, your school was too good. I'm sorry. Your school was too good. Okay? All right? Your school was too good. If you didn't have a gifted and black program, your school was too good. Okay? All right? You weren't included because your school was too good. But for the rest of us, okay, for the rest of us who were in school, there's a gifted and black program. Because black people are not gifting. They're not making it out of the projects. They're not making it out of the ends. They're not being smart. So if you got the gifted and black in your school, yeah, then we know that your school is of a certain level. You know what I mean? AEO know about the report things, cuz the reports were a madness. A madness. So I don't know how you guys discipline works in your school. We used to have reports. We used to have a thing called yellow sheet and blue sheet. So if you're on a yellow sheet and on a blue sheet, a blue sheet would be added points to your team, and you'll be a good report and everything. You get a yellow sheet, you're gonna get a detention, right? When you get a yellow sheet, your name will be in bold ass letters, and then they write exactly what you did, and that means how many things you're gonna get detention for. I can count on my hands how many times I had detention. I had it 4 or 5 times detention. I had more stay behind 15 minutes because I was late to school. That's what I usually had. Yeah, I didn't usually have detention. I had stay behind for 15 minutes because you're late. Okay, all right. Listen, yeah. SMG says she was in the magnet program. Jesus. You was the only black person, Jordays. What the heck? What were they doing? How they gonna have you in that as the only black person, baby? But yeah, bruv, listen, gifted and black was a lot. Corporal punishment, mercy of God. Wait, baby. That's some mad ones. Someone said, Roxy said her one was called the Eagle Program. The Eagle Program. Love that. The Eagle Program. I loved Gifted and Black because you got to meet other black people from other schools. And then you actually realize how important it is to have. And do you know what I realized? Look, I'll be honest with you. You know, when you were around other people that were also intelligent, it raised your level of intelligence. When I was in Gifted and Black every year, I realized once I got around those other black people, like I stopped thinking about the madness of the school and started thinking, you know what, there's more we can do. Like I was even competitive with other people. I was like, I want to be the smartest. But when you're in school, you don't think about being the smartest because that's not the objective. It's about being the coolest. But when I got with the Gifted and Black program, every time I was around other gifted black people, I was like, I need to up my game. This brother's so smart, or this girl was so smart, I need to up my game. And then you realize how important it is for people to be around like-minded people. You put people in a space where they're intelligent, you can dull down some of their intelligence. Now, of course, if you're just super bright and you're a genius, that's a completely different scenario. Most of us aren't that super genius person, but we're really bright and we're really smart. And we just need the right environment to cultivate some of those gifts and take us to the next level. If you're really gifted, then it's a different situation. You know what I'm saying? So Jay says she needs a gifted program at her workplace. You know? So it's so important to have that kind of like-minded, you know, as well. So yeah, it's tough to show those environments and be that gifted one because it wasn't respected as much, you know? Yeah, so it was tough, man. It was tough. So, you know, but when you got to those moments, you saw, you know, how great they were. And the thing is, I came from a really good primary school. So when I went to secondary school, it was catchment areas. They were the worst schools ever. Do you know what's so interesting? No, I wouldn't change it for anything. If I had gone to another kind of school, I think I would have been a different kind of person. You know, some of those bumps. Maybe I'll be richer. Maybe I'll be well ahead of the game by now. You know what I mean? But You know, because that school that I was in for 4 years, yo, they had me by the ropes. They had me under the ropes. I feel you, just me. I feel you. That can be a big thing. And that can be a very big thing as well. I don't envy that at all. We all have our little struggles. That's madness, you know. But in all white school, competing with other students, that can be tough too. You know, we have to have a live about that. You know, one day talk about those kind of things. You know, one day talk about those things and talk about those situations and how tough it was in that respect. Because I think it was a lot. You know. Yeah, that's true, Joshua. The knife crime here is like the gun crime in America. Yeah, if you don't think shootings, we don't do shoot. We do chefings. Yeah, the knife crime is the same thing in what it is in America for gun crime. Stupid stuff that go on. Stupid stuff. And I think knife crime is even worse because you have to get close to the person. You know, that's the thing, Roxy, as well. I think to myself, like, what would have happened, you know, had I been in another type of school? If I had gone to some of the schools that some of my friends went from primary school, I know I would have definitely had a different mentality. You know, I think if I'd gone to that, but it's about socio-economical level. You know, the IMO says something here. It's socio-economical level. It's our socio-economical level. That's the issue. You know, the level that you're at socially, economically, being cool at that young age is what's most important because of your social level. But if you go to other areas, you went to different schools that, you know, being cool wasn't the issue because financially the social economics were different, you'll realize that they had a different set of metrics that was important to them. So I think it's less of a black thing, but it's part of a black thing too. The difference is that we have a social economical level, and because of that lower level, the metrics for us are different. You know what I mean? Because I had some friends who went to a much better school, and I'll be honest with you, you know, there were some people that were in a different place. Yeah, man. It was interesting. You know, that's fair as well, Taka. Yeah, I can rock with that. It's tight out here. Choirs was dope. Females singing to me all period. Sometimes I could fly by just dressing up a shirt with a tie. Get us an A. But braids and jerseys don't. Low. Could you dress up? So I had a school uniform. In my school, I had school uniform. Did anybody else have a school uniform? I had school uniform. We had school uniform for our school. Light blue with a dark blue and yellow tie. And grey navy shorts. Navy trousers, sorry. Not shorts. Navy trousers. You know? That is mad. Someone said pregnant about the staff. You know? I hear that, Tax. Yeah. I remember. I hear that. That was a madness. Yo. School uniforms are important, boy. Because you have to identify who you got ops with, man. We had ops schools, so we had to. You know. We had to have that because certain schools, you know, the fight will be on, you know. Bruh, it was a madness. It was, yeah, you had to. I remember having beef with certain schools. I didn't personally have the beef with other schools, but other people had beef with other schools. And, you know, I was just there for the gifted and talented program, to be honest. I wasn't there for all that beef stuff. Okay, don't bring me into that beef. I don't want to know. I'm not involved. Yeah, you know, that was my thing. Ebony said I was naturally popular or cool. Or is it I wasn't, but sometimes try to please the haters. AEO says, no cap, if I hadn't been good at sport, I wouldn't have connected with most of the community in the high school. Only black in my class. Oh boy, that is not easy. That's a real thing right there, AEO. That's a real thing there. That's a real thing there as well. And that again further just enhances the fact that as black people we are measured by our physical attributes and our animalistic, quote unquote, them, you know, kind of comparing us with, you know, that those attributes. You're a sportsman, athlete. Yeah, there's a lot of academies like this as well. It's true. They've done a lot of academies in our area now. It's not easy. Taka says, I experienced being a black and predominantly white school too. How was that like? This is my last question. I should get off now. I've got to go to the gym and I ain't been for the last 2 days. What was that like? Talk to me. Oh, sorry. What was that like? Yeah, most school colours have a red or blue. I had blue. So, yeah, but our gangs, they would sometimes be waiting outside the school door. Man. Not Jay saying part of our school is gang colour. Lol. Bus different communities. Bro, listen, we had a school bus as well, bro. Not a single uniform. You've been blessed. I don't know I don't know. I kind of like the uniform. It saved me having to think about what clothes I'm going to wear that day. Because I would have definitely been repeating clothes. Okay? I am so glad they gave us uniforms. Because I would have been repeating clothes all day. I would have been a laughing stock. Because there ain't none. Okay? There ain't none. You know. Ain't nothing I had that would be able to make me feel. When Harachis came out. I couldn't afford Harachis. Everyone had Harachis. I couldn't afford them. I'm hearing you, Just Me, CC. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. Like I said, I didn't actually have a racist experience, but seeing the difference between predominantly white school and a predominantly black school is shaped how I view race in general and systematic racism. Okay, that's real. We need to have a live on that one day, don't we? We should do a live on that. When I come back from Ghana, or maybe I'll be able to do it when I'm in Ghana. It depends what I'm doing, but you know, do a live on that because I think that's really great. We'll do a live on UK to US. I've been meaning to do this for a year or so. Their experiences of being in all black school or being in all white school or whatever, because I think they do make these differences. They do show some of this. It depends on the socioeconomical level, of course, as well. But these differences and these experiences are really key as well. I've experienced me being the only black person in my whole grade in school. Wow. I had that in primary school, but I was one of 3 out of 30. But yeah, that was the only time. But after that, I did. It again to go into school, middle school, secondary school as an all black school solidified my love for black people, right? Because obviously I went primary school with white kids, but in secondary school I loved black people. I loved being around them, and I just loved everything about us, because also culturally we were African and Caribbean. So I think that's where it's slightly different, but we're African Caribbean. So, but yeah, I preferred uniform, but you had to have the newest sneakers. Oh, you know, good boy. Couldn't afford new sneakers like that. Stuffed in a locker. You already know, so. You already know. Harachis, bro. I don't know how do people afford Harachis? They're on the lowest social economical pole status, but you're coming in with Harachis, okay? You got 3 or 4 siblings, and you're still coming in with Harachis. I'm like, how are you affording this? You live in the same block that I live in. How are your parents affording this? They ain't got bills to pay? I don't know how they did it, bro. I don't know how they did it. Trust me, Jay, you ain't lie. You ain't lie. Ajoba, you don't remember Nike Harachis? Nike Harachis. Oh, it's sneakers. Sorry, yeah, trainers. Sorry, you guys. I keep forgetting. Jay, you already know, Kez. You already know, Jay. You already know, Jay. You already know. Also growing up in an all-white community, my view and perspective are different. Always felt and still kind of feel out of place because of how I speak and behave. Okay, I hear you. That's fair. That's fair. That's very fair. What do you guys call Harachi? Let me see what Harachis are. When these trainers came on the scene, oh my days, brother. When these trainers came on the scene, oh my days. They were so cold. So cold. They were so cold. Oh my days. These trainers here, guys, Harachis, when they came on, they were so cold. Oh my days. Like, when they first dropped, oh, brother, it was so cold. So cold, these trainers. And I remember when people were having them, I was getting so pissed. These new kicks, I couldn't buy any, bruv. I didn't have the money for that. They were so cold. I've got a pair of Harachis now, and I hate them. But I have a gold version of it. I don't like the feel of them. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like the feel of it, and mine might have been a little bit too big. That's why I need to get a smaller size, maybe. But you know, yeah, it was annoying. It was annoying. Which Jordans were popular in America then? Which Jordans you say? And the 11s? You saying Jordan 11? Or was that Jordan 2 that you're putting there? Jordan 11. Oh, these ones. Were they popular in school? Oh, y'all niggas have money. Damn. Y'all have money. Y'all have money. So we got 11s there. Okay, someone said 5s. Let's see the 5s. Okay, Jordan 5. Yeah, okay, I see you. The 5s are cold. I can't lie to you. The 5s are cold. The Jordan 5s are absolutely freaking cold. The Jordan 5s are cold. I can't lie to you. The Jordan 5s are cold. Okay? Very, very cold. I don't think these came until a little bit later for us anyway. Jordan 7s. Not a fan of the 7s, I won't be lying to you. This one became really popular later on in UK. This one here became very popular around the time. Do you remember this time? This was whenever Burna Boy released a song, when Burna Boy first came out, probably like 2013, 14 or whatever. That's when it became popular. Those Jordan 7s there. Yeah. So yeah, it was a lot still. Y'all had money. So you lot had parents whose money was spending $100, $200 on Jordans for you to go to school in? Or for you to scuff your foot on the floor? Huh? All for you to scuff your foot on the floor. You guys had money. Your parents were buying you. They're wearing the one underneath it right now. Huh? Your parents had money to spend $200. Huh? $200 to buy you trainer. You're gonna scoff on the floor. You're gonna scoff on the floor. Eh? Jordan 4s or Jordan 1s. The Jordan 4s are hard though, I can't lie. Jordan 4s are cold. Right now they're going for like 200-300 bills. They're going for like 200-300 pounds. I haven't bought one. I wanted to buy one, but I said to myself, I probably won't even wear it. This is the situation. I won't even buy it. The thing is, I won't even wear it. You know what I mean? I won't even wear. I'll wear it once, and then I'll be like, I can't wear them. Can't wear them. Can't mess them up. Can't wear them too much. You know what I mean? So, Miss Perfect said she was getting pay less. What's pay less? Is that pay weekly? Is that pay weekly? Pay less. So said about she was working after school doing doing her things. Off-season joints. Jordash, what's that? What's off-season joints? So let me type it in now. What's the off-season joints? The mids. The night fear of gods are cold. I haven't seen that one. Oh, Payless is off-brand. Oh, it's a store. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough then. Afro123, you are finishing me. You're finishing me. Oh, okay. Off-brand shoe. Okay. Yo, I was like, wait, Payless, is that a brand? Huh? Is that a brand? I tell you what, see, we didn't wear trainers in our school, so this is what the boys and the girls started wearing. I don't even remember this kickers. I wonder if I can get the right kickers. This shoe, I know it looks weird, but this shoe became elite in school. The black version, this school became an elite shoe in school. I don't know what it was, but you had this shoe, the man them, the girl them, it was a unisex shoe. They were killing the shoe out here. I mean, I was shopping up Shoe Zone. I had my Shoe Zone version, so I ain't really have this version. But this version here, the kickers version, was like 60 quid. These were, oh my days. These people had, they were rocking these shoes like this, bro. You know? Like, I'll be honest with you, they had these. I had plimsolls. You already know, AEO, we have plimsolls around here. Y'all don't know. Plimsolls, Let me tell you about some of the... We had Shoe Zone Wallabies. Let me even show you what we had. Some of you guys were having 200-pound trainers. You don't know what it is. I don't know how do you spell Wallaby? Oh, I don't even know. I'm spelling it wrong. I'm spelling the animal, not the... Simina McClarks. Okay? This is the Shoe Zone version. You can tell this version is a Shoe Zone. Okay? Alright? You can tell it's Shoe Zone. But the one that this was a nice shape. If you got that, you were comfortable. This is the Shoe Zone version. So you were pissed because the shape of it looks different. Okay? You were angry because the shape of it looked different. See how the thing's got a bend? This one don't have no bend on it. See how it's got no bend? It's flat and straight. That's one you had. But you wanted the bend on it. You wanted that little hook at the end. You understand? You wanted the Jamaican hook at the end. The Caribbean hook at the end. But you didn't have that. You understand? Yeah? But we didn't have that. So if you had a cheaper version, you didn't get the hook at the end. You understand? Yeah? We didn't get the hook at the end. These shoes, you didn't get a hook. But you got one of these, the flat version. This one, you had to deal with it. It is what it is, but you had it. We don't smoke weed, but we not smoke Charlie. You understand? Yeah? And that's probably the Caribbean influence as well. Those shoes. But we also have plimsolls. Plimsolls. You know plimsolls? Who knows a good plimsoll? Y'all need to know about a good plimsoll. Y'all need to know about a good plimsoll. Listen, don't ever rib on a plimsoll, blood. You understand? Oh, it's disconnected. Not allow me to do it. Okay, let me see if I can get a plimsoll. Aha! This is a plimsoll. See this shoe right here? Doing the bits. Get off my screen. Decline. This plimsoll here, elite. Elite shoe. Oh my days. This shoe here will save your life. Okay? You can kick it. You can kick football in it. You can run in it. You can do school in it. And it was cheap. So your parents didn't mind buying another one. Alright? You'll catch a hole in it, but it'll be cool. Okay? Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. Okay? Okay? Y'all don't know. Okay? Y'all don't know. These were the shoes of a lifetime. Ha! Mate. I'm telling you. She said the shoes look like you. Wear hush puppies. What's hush puppies? Boat shoes. Boat shoes are slightly different. We don't wear boat shoes till later on. We didn't wear boat shoes till later on. Because people were wearing their trainers and stuff. People wore some of their trainers and stuff. But, you know, I think, I'm trying to remember. And then we had our Just Do It bag. This was an elite combination. I'm bringing you guys what the UK people were doing. We had an elite combination, especially the women. The women had an elite combination. They had the kickers. Okay. Oh, we just need a picture. We don't need you're too much. You're doing too much. They had a kicker, and then they had a Just Do It bag. Now once you, they don't even have it no more. They don't be selling this property no more. All right, you already know. You can see what I mean anyway. So they had a Just Do It bag. Once they had this bag on, your books can't fit in this bag. Okay. So what the girls used to do is they fold their book in half, slip it in the bag. They still fit their trainers in there, and still manage to fit a top in there, or their PE kit. I don't know how the girls did it. I really don't know how the girls did it. They would fit their school book, their change of clothes, perfume, everything into the small ass bag. The bag is small. Okay? The bag is small. I need you to understand that. The bag is small. Okay? JD Sports bag. Hey, next B, you already know about the JD Sports bag. Don't play with the JD Sports bag. Are you mad? This bag came along with when you went to the shop to buy your trainer. You get a JD Sports bag. Hopefully you'll we'll have these JD Sports bags. Pull over. Okay. Get off. JD Sports bag. People are selling for £5. Thing that you got for free, you're trying to sell for £5. You must be moving mad. Okay. It's not a good picture. Let me see if I can get a better picture. JD Sports spring bag. Let me see. These are some of the bags we had when you knew you went to JD. If someone had this bag, you knew they went to JD. I clicked off it. You knew when they went to JD. You knew they bought some trainers. They were obviously had some money. You know what I mean? Come on now. Yeah? Beautiful. Look at that. Trust me. Y'all don't know about these stuff, man. Man said we had the Bruce Lee kickers called the Bubbles. Lord of mercy. Mercy. Yeah, my God. They weren't well made at all, because it won't take long. It won't take long. You had to have clear bags. Oh, your school sounds like it was mad. These bags were elite kids. Okay. Y'all didn't know. Someone said Jane Norman bags. I don't remember those Jane bags. Vera Bradley bags. Okay. Let's see. Let me see if I can get this Vera Bradley school bag. Let's see what she was saying. These bags here, yeah? What the frick is this, blood? I know you lot are coming for my bobos, but come on now. You ain't gonna come for my bobos when you are this. What school bag is this? Okay. Okay. Prep school bag. Okay. Love this. Oh, black vans were a vibe too. They were still, but we had them later on. We had black vans later on. They were a bit late for us. We didn't have them until later on. Jan Sport book bag. Let's see. Jan Sport book bag. Let's type that in and see what we got. Okay. Oh yeah. Jan Sport book bag. Yeah. This is probably a little bit. This was a good book bag. This was a good. I rock with that. I never had one, but I respected that. Yeah. I remember those Jan Sports. Yep. Definitely. I mean, I got my bags from Lidl, but I'm with you. You know. Supras were big. Yeah. Hey, shout out to you. Supras were big. Supras. Hey, do you remember Supra? Oh wait, hold on. Sorry. There was also a super. I don't know if I spelled it right. There was a super trainer. I'm trying to remember the trainer. This trainer went crazy in the UK. I hated it. I'll be honest with you. I hated it. All right. But this trainer Supra went bonkers. For some reason. Oh, get off. Where did I come from? For some reason, this trainer was going mad. These Supras here, people loved it. These trainers. Oh. They loved it. I couldn't stand them. But yeah, they loved it. Oh my gosh. So those trainers, Supras. I'm trying to think they had the all blacks there. Yeah, I remember. Oh my days. Right, you lot are doing 2008 stuff, bruv. Oh my days. These were hard though. I can't lie to you, these were hard. But it was too expensive for me at the time. The Supras. Oh my days. Are you mad? Supras. Y'all are taking me down one lane, bruv. The Supras were different. Super book bag. Let's not. I guess I don't have a book bag. But I'm trying to remember. Hey, I'm trying to remember what the thingy was. We used to have a lot of different things we'd wear. K-Swiss. Yes, K-Swiss was also quite popular. Not those ones, but we had K-Swiss. I never had a pair of K-Swisses. Was K-Swiss the first one you can change the actual stripes? Is that the one you can change the stripes? K-Swiss is one you can change the stripes. Is that one where you could change the stripes on the thingy? No, it wasn't K-Swiss. Who was the one that you can change the stripes? What trainer came out that you could change the stripes on the thing? I can't remember what it was. K-Swiss. Good time to be around, man. What a time. What a time to be alive, K-Swiss. Bruv. It was a time to be alive. We had trainers upon trainers. It's a lotto. Maybe it was. Maybe it was an Adidas then. I'm trying to remember what ones we had, like Ultra Boost. Yo, they are killing me. I'm trying to remember what Adidas we actually had. The Adidas ones that we were wearing at that time. What Adidas trainers were we wearing in the UK at the time? I'm trying to remember what Adidas trainers we were wearing at the time. Because I was wearing football. I played soccer, so I wore soccer boots that were Adidas. But in terms of actually trainers, I'm trying to think what trainers I had that were Adidas. I don't remember. Never really got into Lacoste. Lacoste wasn't for us in UK. I don't know, for my age group, like let's say middle school, Lacoste wasn't really the shoe you'd wear. Yeah, you wouldn't really wear that necessarily. I remember these jackets, the bomber jackets. Was it bomber jackets? No, bubble jackets. It was a bubble jacket. They used to wear this thing, and it used to drive me nuts. I'm trying to see if I can find the right one. They have these kind of coats here. They loved these coats. I used to find them infuriating, but it's been much bigger. It was much thicker. I was like, bro, these coats are annoying. Oh man. Fubu, Fat Farm shoes. We did have them, but we never wore them per se. Fubu. Never really wore them to, yeah. North Face. Oh. It's North Face, okay. Bubble jacket, triple goose, bubble jacket. Let me try to see. Have I spelled it right? I don't even know if I spelled it right. Let's see. Oh, we ain't got no pictures. Something like this. Yeah, it's a bit like, a bit puffy. They used to wear this coat, man. It's annoying, bruv. Like, in the summer, you'd wear it too. I'm like, guys, come on. But it said to a fat goose. Fat. Boy. Those were the days, man. Those were the days. I'm trying to think what else we had. We had Echo tracksuits. I don't know if you guys remember Echo. Echo tracksuits. We had a blast with these Echo tracksuits. Oh my days. Everybody wanted one at a point in time. Echo tracksuits, they were hard. With the rhinoceros, whatever. I couldn't afford one. It was sad days. But the Echo tracksuits, they were one of the big ones as well. Echo, people loved Echo. I'm trying to think what other. Bomber jacket with the orange inside. Yes, Jordash, you already know. Oh man. Hey, listen, y'all don't know about tracksuits, okay? What kind of tracksuits were you guys wearing? Huh? What kind of tracksuits were you guys putting on? Rock said raw Echo Red. Alright, cool. I hear that. Ralph Lauren Polo. Elite. I couldn't afford that, but a lot of people did. Yeah, that was the start of when you're trying to do you're trying to smell good, look good, and wear things that were elite. You know? Let me see if I can type in tracksuits in 2000. God damn. They say they're gonna mash you up. What the heck is this? I love those tracksuits. They loved the little velvet, didn't they? What other tracksuit? I mean, what's this? Let's see what they said for the ladies. What tracksuits were you guys wearing in 2000? What kind of tracksuits you guys were wearing in 2000? Oh, damn. What a time to be alive, folks. What a time to be alive. This is the kind of tracksuits y'all were wearing? Juicy tracksuits? No, they're not juicy. Oh, they were juicy. Okay, they were juicy at the time. Okay. Velour ones. Hey, Baby Fat. I remember Baby Fat. Oh my days. So it's I hated Juicy Couture. Y'all ain't know but the rose. Those were the days. Oh my days, brother. Jeez. Juicy Couture, that's what you're saying. They love the tracksuit, Juicy Couture. Oh, they were so annoying. Can't lie to you. Every girl would rock them. Like, Charlie, will you relax? Yeah. I said, a Spirit and Bennington. Oh boy, bro, I saw the same thing, bro. I saw the same thing. And you know what, Roxy, it was a simpler time. You know, it was a simpler time where things were very simple. You know, very, very simple. It just needed to keep, you know, if things weren't difficult, and if you couldn't afford it, you go to the market, you go and buy a cheap version of it, you enjoy. Now, everything's very difficult, very expensive, very tough. Very, very tough. But anyway, listen, guys, I gotta go. I gotta go to the gym. I said I was gonna go today, and I haven't been. So we'll definitely have another one of those nostalgic run-throughs. You know, make sure you guys join us on Patreon, because if you don't, I want to do this on Patreon. I'm gonna do this with my Patreon people. You know, it's fun doing it here, but it has to do with our Patreon people. Then we can really get down and not dirty, but we can really get down. You know what I mean? And we're doing our Patreon space. You know. So if you haven't joined already, make sure you join our Patreon. We're going to do we'll do best of music one of Felicia as well. We'll do a music one and everything as well, and everyone brings some music. We can go down memory lane and, you know, compare a little bit of music, you know, and stuff like that. So yeah, it'll be really cool. Let's enjoy let's go back in time, you know. Time. Oh man, I appreciate it. What a good time. Oh, it was fun, man. Oh, those times were good. Anyway, listen, guys, I appreciate you. If you haven't joined the Patreon already, join the Patreon, get involved with our Discord, have more great conversations like this. We appreciate you guys. Still locked, still loaded. We'll see you again very, very soon.